Hello and welcome. We are here with the Wipro patent papers and we are dealing with the verbal section. So I'm here with the solutions for them. And the first of these questions, they tackle this exercise called sentence inference. So what exactly is sentence inference is that you'd be given a paragraph, a small paragraph, maybe two or three lines. And then depending on the paragraph, you'd be asked to provide a conclusion, a logical conclusion that comes after that, or maybe what is inferred, what is the specific meaning of some of the things, and so you'll be getting two or three different patterns in these sentence inference types. So to solve these, well, the first thing you need to do is comprehend what you've read. So after reading the paragraph, you should know each and everything about it and what exactly it means, even the words, the small things here and there. And apart from that, also sometimes we need to use a little bit of logic and common sense. So let's get to the first one of this. And number one, it says, select the correct alternative from the given choices. My neighbor's dog bark and howl every time the owners let them outside. My CPA told me that dogs tend to bark and howl when they see birds resting in the top branches of their favorite trees. I personally believe they bark and howl because they enjoy disrupting my meditations. Now, which of the following can be inferred from the above statement? A, the dogs enjoy being outside. B, the dogs will bark and howl at 3 a.m. if they are outside at that time. C says the dog's owners do not care how they are viewed by the neighbors. And D says the dogs must be abused by the owners. Now, we use the process of elimination. So let's get to A, which says the dogs enjoy being outside. Now, nowhere in this paragraph does it suggest that the dogs like being outside or inside. So I think we can safely eliminate option A over here. Getting to option B, it says the dogs will bark and howl at 3 a.m. if they're outside at the time. So over here it says my neighbor's dog bark and howl every time the owners let them outside. So the first sentence over here. So I think even if they are let outside at 3 a.m. in the morning, I think they will still bark and howl. So this is a possible inference. We keep this one and let's move on to option C, which says the dog's owners do not care how they are viewed by their neighbors. Now, nowhere does it suggest the dog's owners whether they care about the dogs howling or not. So even number C, we can safely leave it out. And number D, coming to number D, it says the dogs must be abused by their owners. Again, in the passage, nowhere is it inferred that the dogs are abused by their owners or must be abused by their owners. So the correct option over here, we are going to go with option B. The dogs will bark and howl at 3 a.m. if they are outside at the time. We come to question number 2 of the verbal section in the Wipro patent papers. It's about sentence inference again. So it says, answer the following below question based on the instructions given in each. And it reads, due to the threat of dacoits, life came to a standstill after 3 p.m. When we returned from the fields and quietly locked ourselves in, the dacoits used to raid our village frequently and abduct people. Now, which of the following is a conclusion which can be drawn from the above statement? A says there is no proper police protection for the village. B says dacoits raid the village after 3 p.m. C says the villagers are farmers, and D says dacoits raid the village before 3 p.m. Now we use the process of elimination again, and A, if we come to A, it says there is no proper police protection for the village. There is nothing in this passage which infers there is police protection or not for the village. So we can safely eliminate option A over here. Coming to option B, which says dacoits raid the village after 3 p.m. I think the first line over here which says life came to a standstill after 3 p.m. when we returned from the fields. Okay, so it is possible the dacoits raid the village after 3 p.m. That is why life comes to a standstill. So this is a possible conclusion. C says the villagers are farmers, and even though it says when we returned from the fields and quietly locked ourselves in, nowhere in the passage does it suggest that all the villagers are farmers. Maybe few of them work in the fields. So we can eliminate option C again. And option D says Dacoits raid the village before 3 p.m. And I don't think this is going to be a possible conclusion because it says only after 3 p.m. life comes to a standstill and when dacoits raid the village. So once again, we can eliminate option D, which leaves us with the possible conclusion, which is option B, dacoits raid the village after 3 p.m. Hello and welcome. We are here with the verbal section of the Wipro pattern papers, and coming to question number 3, this is again about sentence inference. So it says, select the correct alternative from the given choices, and the passage reads, a 5-year-old boy, Shakti, was washed away in an overflowing nala following a downpour. This is the third such tragic death in the past 3 months. A 10-year-old boy died after slipping into the Nala in the same locality after heavy rains. The Nala is also a source of diseases. Now, it asks us which of the following would be the most appropriate course of action to solve the problem. And A says, cover the entire Nala. B says, make the place prohibited for the children during rainy season. C says, construct a side wall beside the Nala in that locality so that the children cannot reach the Nala. And D says, divert the excess water to a different Nala. Now, coming to option A, if we cover the entire Nala, I think it solves the problems of people falling into the Nala, and also maybe it'll solve diseases as well because it'll be covered. So it's a possible conclusion. It's a possible inference from here, option A. However, we come to option B, which says make the place prohibited for the children during rainy season. Now, it doesn't really make sense to lock up children inside and not allow them to go there. And we never know. Someone might just slip into that nala again. So option B, we can eliminate that. Option C says construct a sidewall beside the nala in that locality so that the children cannot reach the nala. Once again, I don't think it solves the root of the problem. And even if a sidewall is constructed beside the nala in that locality, the children, even though they may not be able to reach, even though someone might jump over the sidewall, but the problem of disease is spreading and germs and bacteria infecting the nala, that won't be solved. So we can again leave aside option C. Coming to option D, divert the excess water to a different nala. This course of action is not going to solve any of the problems over here. So we can again eliminate option D, which leaves us with possible inference, which is option A, cover the entire nala. Hello, we are here with question number 4 of the verbal section of the Wipro patent papers, and question number 4, it's about sentence inference again, and it says select the correct alternative from the given choices. So the passage reads, a feud between two communities has created a rift among school children on caste lines in a remote village. Children belonging to a particular caste are now skipping the midday meal because the cook belongs to a different caste. A boy revealed that his parents had advised him to come home for lunch by skipping the midday meal served at school. Now, which of the following would be the most appropriate course of action to solve the problem? And A reads, close the main gate of the school and force the children to have midday meal in the school. B says, stop the midday meal scheme. C says, the children should be made aware of the caste system and tell them that the people of all castes are human beings and caste makes no difference. D says, change the cook. Now, coming to option A, close the main gate of the school and force the students to have midday meal in the school. It doesn't really solve the root of the problem. The root of the problem is in the mentality of the people over there, including the children. So that needs to be changed. And option A will not change any of that. So coming to option B, stop the midday meal scheme. Once again, doesn't make sense. Option B, it doesn't solve the problem at all. And option C, the children should be made aware of the caste system and tell them that the people of all castes are human beings and caste makes no difference. Now, this option over here, it makes sense because we are getting to the root of the problem, which is changing the mentality of the people, of the children, and teaching them good values and good ethics. So option C could be a possible answer for this. And option D, change the cook, well, doesn't change problems at all. So we are left with option C. We will go with the correct option, which is option C. Thank you. Hello and welcome. We are here with question number 5 of the verbal section in the Wipro patent papers. It's about sentence inference again, and I'm going to read out the paragraph for you. It asks us select the correct alternative from the given choices, and the passage reads: Country Y has sought the help of country X to catch the notorious Don. Because of this request, country X is caught between the devil and the deep sea. Now, which of the following can be inferred from the above statement? A says country X does not want to antagonize country Y or the Don. B says the Don is involved in illegal activities. C says the Don is in country X. And D says country X can find out the whereabouts of the Don. Now, we use the process of elimination again over here. We come to option A, which says country X does not want to antagonize country Y or the Don, which is possible because the last line in the paragraph reads, country X is caught between the devil and the deep sea. So this is a saying, it's an idiom which suggests there are two evils and you're caught between both of them. It's very hard to choose that kind of position. So I think option A makes sense because it doesn't want to antagonize country Y or the Don, caught between the devil and the deep sea. We keep it at this and move on to option B. The Don is involved in illegal activities, and it is very obvious the Don would be involved in illegal activities, and but inferring from the above statement, caught between the devil and the deep sea, this doesn't make sense. We come to option C. The Don is in country X. Okay, over here again, it's not inferred. Sentence C, option C is not inferred from the above paragraph over here. We can leave that aside. Coming to option D, country X can find out the whereabouts of the Don. Once again, this is not a proper inference for the above paragraph. The closest one we have is option A. Country X does not want to antagonize country Y or the Don, and we will stick with this option. It's the correct option. Thank you. We are here with question number 6 of the verbal section in the Wipro patent papers, and it asks us, it's a question of sentence inference, and it reads, in each question below is given a statement followed by several assumptions. Find which of the assumptions is implicit in the statement. The statement is, certain routes are closed for vehicular traffic during processions. An order from the concerned authorities. Now, the assumptions which are given are 1, the procession will culminate in a public meeting, and 2, the procession would be large enough to cause congestion on the road. So, is it A, only 2 is implicit? B, neither 1 nor 2 is implicit? C, either 1 or 2 is implicit? And D says only 1 is implicit. Now, in the statement, certain routes are closed for vehicular traffic during procession. Nowhere does it suggest it will culminate in a public meeting. So 1 is definitely not an assumption, not a true assumption. However, 2, the procession would be large enough to cause congestion on the road, which is why the authorities are taking these steps to close vehicular traffic. So 2 is possible, it's a possible assumption. So the correct answer over here is option A, only 2 is implicit. Thank you. We're here with question 7 of the verbal section in the Wipro patent paper, and it's again sentence inference, and it asks us read each question and answer the question given below each accordingly. The passage reads: prolonged spells of hot, dry weather at the end of the grape growing season typically reduce a vineyard's yield because the grapes stay relatively small. In years with such weather, wine producers can make only a relatively small quantity of wine from a given area of vineyards. Nonetheless, in regions where wine producers generally grow their own grapes, analysts typically expect a long, hot, dry spell late in the growing season to result in increased revenues for local wine producers. Now, which of the following, if true, does most to justify the analyst's expectations? Now, A says grapes grown for wine production are typically made into wine at or near the vineyard in which they were grown. B says long hot dry spells at the beginning of the grape growing season are rare, but they can have a devastating effect on a vineyard's yield. C says grapes that have matured in hot dry weather make significantly better wine than ordinary grapes. And D says the lower a vineyard's yield, the less labor is required to harvest the grapes. Well, if we look at option A over here, grapes grown for wine production are typically made into wine at or near the vineyard at which they were grown. Now, this sentence does nothing to justify the analyst's expectations, which is We can read in the last line over here, because generally grow their own. Analysts typically expect a long, hot, dry spell late in the growing season to result in increased revenues. So A doesn't make sense over here. We can eliminate the A. B, long, hot, dry spells at the beginning of the grape growing season are rare, but they can have a devastating effect on a vineyard's yield. Now, again, B doesn't really justify the expectation of increased revenues over here, because they are just talking of a dry spell. So we can leave aside B for now. Coming to option C, grapes that have matured in hot, dry weather make significantly better wine than ordinary grapes. Now, this is possible because if the quality of the wine is better, it can result in increased revenue for the wine producers. So option C is very much possible. And we come to the last option, D. The lower a vineyard's yield, the less labor is required to harvest the grapes. Once again, it doesn't justify the expectation of increased revenue. So the correct option over here will go with option C, the correct option. Thank you. Hello, we're here with question number 8 of the Wipro patent papers for the verbal section, and sentence in inference. It reads, select the correct alternative from the given choices. Taking battle tanks to the Himalayas is almost impossible even today when there are few motorable roads winding up the snowy slopes. But in 1947-48, when there weren't even roads but only mule tracks, a dashing Indian general winched up tanks to 12,000 feet and blasted the enemy. Now, which of the following can be inferred from the above statement? A. The general has overcome opposition to his plan to take tanks to a height of 12,000 feet. B says none of these. C. Today there are no tanks on Himalayas. D says in 1947-48, Pakistan Army had occupied the Himalayas. Now, option A, I don't think the options over here, the option A over here, it's the correct inference for the passage, because nowhere in the passage it is mentioned that he had any opposition to his plan. So we can leave aside option A, eliminated. B, none of these. Well, let's look at this later. Coming to C, today there are no tanks in the Himalayas. Once again, nowhere in the passage is it implied there are no tanks in the Himalayas or not. So we can eliminate option C as well. Coming to D, in 1947-48, Pakistan Army had occupied the Himalayas. So nowhere in the passage it's mentioned, there is no mention of the Pakistan Army occupying the Himalayas. We can leave aside option D. The correct option, we are left with this option B, which says none of these. Thank you. We are here with question number 9 in the verbal section of the Wipro patent papers, and it's again sentence inference. So it asks us, in the following question, a statement is given followed by two conclusions, 1 and 2. Mark your answer. The statement is, the constitutional amendment carried out in the monsoon session of Parliament prohibits child labor in any organization. So the conclusions that are derived from here are, 1, all employers in India must abide by the new rule. Number 2, all the victims of child labor will now enroll in schools. Option A says, if both 1 and 2 follows, conclusion 2, number A says both 1 and 2 follow. B says only conclusion 2 follows. C says neither 1 or 2 follows. And D says only conclusion 1 follows. So over here, if we read the statement, the constitutional amendment carried out prohibits child labor in any organization. So if we take a look at option conclusion 1, all employers in India must abide by the new rule. I think that's a proper conclusion, because it states it's an amendment and it prohibits child labor. So all employers in India must abide by the new rule, which is true. Number 2 says all the victims of child labor will now enroll in schools, which nowhere in this sentence is given that the victims of child labor have to be enrolled in schools. So I think it's only going to be conclusion 1 over here. So we are going to go with option D, which says only conclusion 1 follows. Thank you. We are here with question number 10 of the verbal section in the Wipro patent papers, and it's again sentence inference, and it asks us select the correct alternative from the given choices. And software companies, the passage reads, software companies are setting up their offices in the city. Many people from various states are coming to the city for a job. As the number of people in the city is increasing at a rapid pace, the people are facing problems in finding residential dwellings. The rentals have doubled in 1 year in the city despite having rent control acts. Very few houses or hostels are available at affordable rents. Now, which of the following would be the most appropriate course of action to solve this problem? So, A says none of these. B says authorities should build new buildings. Sorry about the crackers going on, it's Diwali time. So, option C says the authorities should enact one more rent control act, and D says do not allow the software companies to enter the city. So leaving aside A, which says none of these, we come to option B, and authorities should build new buildings. Now, this course of action, they can never be sure if the problem would be solved by constructing new buildings only. So we can leave aside option B. Option C says the authorities should enact one more rent control act. Now over here, the authorities have already enacted a lot of these rent control acts. So one more act is unlikely to bring about any major change. So we can leave aside option C as well. Option D, do not allow the software companies to enter the city. And once again, it's not a fruitful solution. It is not feasible not to allow software companies to enter the city because for the cause of development at least, development can only happen if software companies enter the city. So we can safely go with option A, none of these over here. Thank you. Hello, we are here with question 11 in the verbal section of the Wipro patent papers, and it's again sentence inference, and it asks us, the passage reads, scientists warn of a global warming, a greenhouse effect resulting from increased atmospheric pollutants, including carbon dioxide from the burning of wood, coal, and oil. A coal industry spokesperson says that the effect need not cause concern in the near future if, as some scientists believe, the Earth faces another ice age within the next 1,000 years, since each calamity could cancel out the other. Now, which of the following, if true, casts the most serious doubt on the conclusion of the spokesperson? Now, we come to option A. The disastrous results of the greenhouse effect have begun to occur and will probably intensify within the next 50 years. Now, if we take a look at this conclusion, I think this conclusion is casting some doubt on the premise of the spokesperson that the ice age is coming, so every calamity could cancel out the other. I think A makes sense. However, let's come to B. Trees absorb some of the carbon dioxide in the lower atmosphere and produce oxygen, which is not a pollutant. Now, this doesn't cast any doubt whatsoever on the conclusion. So we can eliminate option B as well. Option C says much of the carbon dioxide currently being produced comes not from coal, but from the burning of trees cleared from large areas of tropical rainforest. Once again, it doesn't cast any doubt on the conclusion of the spokesperson over here. So we can eliminate option C as well. Option D says there is a generally cyclical pattern in the recurrence of ice ages on Earth. Once again, doesn't cast any doubt on the conclusion. So we can safely go with option A over here, and option A is the correct answer. Hello, we are here with the solution for question 12 of the verbal section in the Wipro patent papers, and it's sentence inference, and it reads, select the correct alternative from the given choices. Nowadays, many skyscrapers are coming up, leaving no place for children to play. The children are forced to play on the roads, sometimes causing accidents. Some parents do not allow their children to play, leading to lack of physical exercise. Now, which of the following would be the most appropriate course of action to solve the problem? A says none of these. So we'll come to that later. B says the authorities should not allow building of skyscrapers so that the children will get a playground at convenient distances. Now, over here, this doesn't seem to be the appropriate course of action over here because the authorities cannot disallow the construction of skyscrapers. It doesn't make sense at all. We can leave out option B for now. Let's come to option C. Children should play in school playgrounds. Once again, not an appropriate course of action to be forcing children to be forced to play in school playgrounds only and not outside. So we can eliminate option C as well. And coming to option D over here, parents should set up a gym in the house for the physical exercise of the children. Well, once again, it is not fair to be keeping children locked indoors and doing gym instead of letting them play outside. So even option D is not the appropriate course of action. So we have to go with option A over here, which says none of these. Hello, we are here with the solution to question number 13 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern test. And it's again sentence inference. So it reads, select the correct alternative from the given choices. The passage reads, Veerappan struck at will, demoralizing STF personnel who believed he had magical powers that made him invisible. Officers dread a posting in STF. Which of the following can be inferred from the above statement? Now, A says one can become invisible with magical powers. Not at all. This is not implied in the above statement. It was only the STF personnel who believed he had magical powers, but it is not implied in the statement above. So we can eliminate option A. B says STF personnel were unable to assess when Veerappan would strike. Once again, nothing in the passage suggests that personnel were unable to assess when Veerappan would strike. So we can eliminate option B as well. And coming to option C, STF personnel had to face Veerappan as part of their duty, which is true because it can be inferred that STF personnel had to face Veerappan as part of the duty. I'm sorry. So we can go with option C for now. However, we take a look at the last option as well, which is option D, and it says Veerappan employed more sophisticated war tactics compared to the STF personnel. Nowhere in the passage is this implied or inferred. So we will safely go with option C over here, and which is the right option. Thank you. Hello, we are here with the solution for question number 14 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern papers, and it's sentence inference again, and it reads, select the correct alternative from the given choices. Passage reads, if we throw ethics to the wind and dance with the powerful, we must remember that we may step on the devil's tail. Now, so let's dance with caution. Which of the following can be inferred from the above statement? A says the powerful are devils. Now, the statement above, nowhere is it inferred that the powerful are devils. So that is out of the equation. We eliminate option A. B says none of these. We'll come back to this later. C says one has to throw ethics to the wind if one wants to dance with the devil. Now, it is not implied at all that one should throw ethics to the wind and dance with the devil. We can once again eliminate option C. Option D says dancing with the powerful is necessary. Now, once again, it is not inferred. Option D is not inferred. We can safely go with option B over here, which says none of these. Hello and welcome. We are here with the verbal section of the Wipro patent papers, and we come to these. Sorry about the crackers going on. It's Diwali, so I have to put up with the noise. So the second part, these are they give you 4 options, and you have to choose the grammatically correct option of these. So so let's read out the question number 15. It's question number 15 says replace the underlined part of the question with a grammatically correct option. The report recommended that the hospital should eliminate unneeded beds, expensive services should be consolidated, and use space in other hospitals. Now, option A tells us should eliminate unneeded beds, expensive services should be consolidated, and other hospital space should be used. B says eliminate unneeded beds, consolidate expensive services, and to use space in other hospitals. C says eliminate unneeded beds, consolidate expensive services, and use other hospitals' space. D says should eliminate unneeded beds, expensive services should be consolidated, and use space in other hospitals. So if you take a look at it, most of the options sound very similar, yet there are little differences in all of them. So let's come to the first one. It says should eliminate unneeded beds, expensive services should be consolidated. We are not going with A over here because just as in the first phrase, the first premise says should eliminate unneeded beds, we should also be saying consolidate expensive services. Instead of expensive services should be consolidated to maintain the same flow in the sentence. So we can eliminate option A. Option B says eliminate unneeded beds, consolidate expensive services, and to use space in other hospitals. Well, this seems more like it, and we will keep it for the back burner for now. And let's move on to C. eliminate unneeded beds, consolidate expensive services, and use other hospital space. Now, I think when they say use other hospital space, when we say to use space in other hospitals, it sounds much better in a sentence. So we will eliminate option C for now, and option D is should eliminate unneeded beds, expensive services should be consolidated, and use space in other hospitals. Once again, like A, this option is eliminated because it says expensive services should be consolidated. So out of all of this, option B is the right grammatically correct option. We will go with option B. Hello, we have come to question number 16 of the verbal section of the Wipro patent papers, and it's again about choosing the grammatically correct or incorrect sentence. So the question asks us, identify the part of the sentence which is grammatically incorrect. And the sentence reads, the manager of the bank was busy, so he asked them to come and see him between 2 to 3 in the afternoon. So A says between 2 to 3 in the afternoon. Is it the grammatically incorrect one? It might be, because we don't say between 2 to 3, we say between 2 and 3. Come to the next one. The manager of the bank was busy. No problems at all over here. It's grammatically perfectly okay. C says, so he asked them to come and see him. Once again, no problem at all. Option D, no error. I think the correct option over here, the grammatically incorrect part, is going to be A, between 2 to 3 in the afternoon. It should have been between 2 and 3. Thank you. We are here with the solution for question number 18 of the verbal section of the Wipro patent test. And it's the choice we have to make between the grammatically correct option. We have to choose the grammatically correct one. So the question asks us, replace the underlined part of the question with a grammatically correct option. The paragraph reads, the result of two recent unrelated studies support the idea that dolphins may share certain cognitive abilities with humans and great apes. The studies indicate dolphins as capable of recognizing themselves in mirrors, an ability that is often considered a sign of self-awareness and to grasp spontaneously the mood and or intention of humans. So number A asks us, number A says, dolphins as capable of recognizing themselves in mirrors, an ability that is often considered a sign of self-awareness and to grasp spontaneously over here. The last bit over here, which says and to grasp spontaneously, it doesn't really flow well. We should be saying and spontaneously grasping. So we will not go with option A. We will eliminate option A. B says that dolphins have the ability of recognizing themselves in mirrors, an ability that is often considered as a sign of self-awareness and spontaneously grasping. Now, over here, this makes sense, spontaneously grasping. But the part which says an ability that is often considered, that part, it should not be in the same sentence without any comma or any hyphen over there. So we have to eliminate option B over here. It will not form part of one continuous sentence, this part. Option C says that dolphins are capable of recognizing themselves in mirrors, an ability that is often considered a sign of self-awareness and of spontaneously grasping. Well, this sounds perfect for me. However, let's take a look at option D. Dolphins' ability to recognize themselves in mirrors, an ability that is often considered as a sign of self-awareness and of spontaneously grasping. The only difference here is in the start, which says dolphins' ability, instead of saying that dolphins are capable of. And that dolphins are capable of recognizing, that sounds much, much better than option D over here. We will go with option C as the correct option. Hello, we are here with the solution for question number 19 of the verbal section in the Wipro patent papers, and it's about choosing the grammatically correct option. So the question reads, replace the underlined part of the question with the grammatically correct option. So the passage reads, in 1995, Richard Stallman, a well-known critic of the patent system, testified in patent office hearings that to test the system, a colleague of his had managed to win a patent for one of Kirchhoff's laws, an observation about electric current first made in 1845 and now included in virtually every textbook of elementary physics. So option A tells us laws, namely it was an observation about electric current first made in 1845, and B says laws and observation about electric current first made in 1845, and C says laws, which was an observation about electric current first made in 1845, and it is. D says laws and observation about electric current first made in 1845. It is. So when we take a look at the first one over here, laws, namely, it was an observation about electric current first made in 1845. There is an error over here because we don't say laws after that comma and namely, and then we continue with the same sentence. It, we have a pronoun, so laws and it cannot come in the same line and together back to back. It cannot come. We can leave out option A for now. Option B says laws and observation about electric current first made in 1845, and over here uh, this seems pretty okay for me. Laws and observation about electric current first made in 1845. No problem at all with that. We will keep this on the back burner. Move on to option C, which says laws, which was an observation about electric current first made in 1845, and it is. Once again, we are using the pronoun, which is really unnecessary over here. It already says laws, so and it is. We don't need to put that again. So we can eliminate option C as well. Option D says laws and observation about electric current first made in 1845. It is once again the same problem of the pronoun laws and it is cannot come together over here. We will stick with option B for now. It is the correct option. Hello and welcome. We are here with the solution for question number 20 in the verbal pattern papers, and for Wipro pattern papers in the verbal section, and it's about choosing the grammatically correct option. The question reads, replace the underlined part of the question with a grammatically correct option. And the passage reads, critics contend that the new missile is a weapon whose importance is largely symbolic, more a tool for manipulating people's perceptions than to fulfill a real military need. So option A tells us for manipulating people's perceptions than to fulfill. Option B says for manipulating people's perception than for fulfilling. C says to manipulate people's perception rather than fulfilling. And D says to manipulate people's perception rather than that it fulfilling. Over here, one part which is manipulating and the other part which says fulfill, they should match in terms of tense, because manipulating is in the continuous tense, which is why we cannot have option A over here. It says for manipulating people's perceptions than to fulfill. It should have been fulfilling. So we can eliminate option A. Coming to option B, it says for manipulating people's perception than for fulfilling. We can go with this. It both of the tenses agree, manipulating as well as fulfilling. Option C says to manipulate people's perception rather than fulfilling. Once again, the tenses don't match, manipulate and fulfilling. D, to manipulate people's perception rather than that it fulfilling. Once again, the tenses don't match. So we can safely go with option B, the correct option. Hello and welcome. We are here with the solution for question number 21 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern papers, and it asks us fill in the blanks with the correct option given in the option. The sentence reads, Josh lets procrastination get the best of him. He completed his project the night before it was due, resulting in a sloppy presentation. And the options are A, slowly, B, nervously, C, hastily, D, patiently. The correct option over here is C, hastily, because he has to complete the project in a very quick time. We say haste with haste, meaning to do it very quickly. It cannot be the others at all. So we will go with option C over here, the correct option. Hello, we are here with the solution for question number 22. And question number 22 asks us, choose the correct antonym of the words. The word is rudimentary. Now, the options given are polite, developed, impoverished, ponderous. So rudimentary is something which is not developed. It is still in the very latent stage, we can say in a very underdeveloped stage. So the correct antonym, the opposite word for rudimentary, is going to be option B, developed. So we are here with the solution for question number 23. And question number 23 asks us, choose the pair that best expresses the relationship similar to that in the original pair. So the pair of words that are given is paltry and significance. So the options given are opulent and wealth, banal and originality, redundant and discussion, and austere and landscape. Now, something which is very paltry, we say which is not very significant. It is a very paltry sum. It is a very small amount, we can say. small, and significant is something, of course, which is very important, of significance. So it's a question of choosing the opposite words over here. So when we look at the first one, opulent and wealth, both of them mean the same thing, being well endowed with money. The second one, banal and originality, they are opposites. Banal is something which is copied, and originality is, of course, being original. So this can be one. Redundant and discussion, not really opposites. And austere and landscapes, again, not opposites. We have to go with option B over here, which says banal and originality. The solution for question number 24 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern test, and it reads, it's a question of articles. So it reads, put a and the or no article in the spaces. The sentence given is, I've been offered the position of dash director of personnel. So over here, we have to choose a no article, C. No article, sorry, D, no article, because we simply say I've been offered the position of director of personnel. We don't say a director and director or the director. Simply director of personnel. Option D, the correct option. Here with the solution for question number 25 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern test, and it reads, put a and the or no article in the spaces. The sentence reads, let me introduce you to dash Paula Cox, and the options a and the and no article, of course. Over here, before names of persons, we don't use any article. We simply say, let me introduce you to Paula Cox. So we have option C, which says no article, the correct option. We are here with the solution for question number 26 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern test, and it's again a question of articles. It reads, put a and the or no article in the spaces. The sentence is, what make is your computer? It's a dash Mac. Should we say it's a Mac, it's an Mac, it's the Mac, it's Mac? Well, the correct option over here is it's a Mac. We don't say an because M is a consonant sound. We don't say the. It is not a particular Mac. He's talking about any Macs in general. It's a Mac. And of course, there cannot be no article over there. So we will go with option B, which says a. Here with the solution for question number 27 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern test. And it's again a question of articles. It says put a and the or no article in the spaces. The lines read, she recently became dash minister in the new government. And the options, of course, it's a and the or no article. Over here, we have to choose option A, which is a. She recently became a minister in the new government. So she is not any particular minister, but she's just a minister in the new government, which is why we use the indefinite article a. Of course, it cannot be an because minister is not a vowel sound, doesn't sound with a vowel, start with a vowel sound. And we have to use the article a over here. Option A is the correct option. Here with the solution for question number 28 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern test, and it reads, choose the correct alternative and fill up the blanks. It's a question about preposition, choosing the right preposition. The fort stands dash the Yamuna. Is it besides the Yamuna or beside the Yamuna? Over here, we have to choose option B, which says the fort stands beside the Yamuna. We don't say the fort stands besides the Yamuna. We are here with the solution for question number 29 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern papers, and it asks us, it's about vocabulary. So the question asks, find the correct meaning of for the word from the choices given below. The word is dubious. So what does dubious mean? Does it mean A, to question doubts, B, one who doubts, C, to be uncertain, D says doubtful, questionable. Over here, dubious means something which is you have to question. Well, it's not very clear, but definitely it's not going to be A over here, which says to question doubts. Dubious doesn't mean that. Dubious doesn't mean one who doubts, not at all. So A, B out of the question. C says to be uncertain. That is not the meaning of dubious. It is in fact D, which says doubtful, questionable. That is the meaning of dubious. The correct option, option D. Here with the solution for question number 30 in the verbal section of the Wipro pattern test, and it reads, choose the correct antonym of the words. The word given is flamboyant. So what does flamboyant mean? It's a question about vocabulary. So the correct antonym, we have to choose a word which is directly its opposite. So flamboyant is something which is very nice to see. We see some people who are very showy. We call them flamboyant in terms of style, in terms of appearance. It can be anything else also. So the correct option, the options given are plain, sweeping, showing, and compel. The correct option, the correct antonym is option A, plain. It is the direct opposite of being flamboyant. Sweeping, showing, compel doesn't have anything to do with flamboyant or its opposite. So option A is the correct option over here.
Hello everyone. In this section we will be solving few data sufficiency questions under logical reasoning. So in data sufficiency they will ask one question, and to find answer for that question they will give two statements. We should analyze whether the statements are sufficient to provide answer for that question. So I will give you a moment to go through all these options. Okay. Now let's get into the questions. So the first question says, 5 students Atul, Bala, Chetan, Dev and Ernesto were the only ones who participated in a quiz. They were ranked based on their scores in the contest. Dev got higher rank as compared to Ernesto, while Bala got a higher rank compared to Chetan. Chetan's rank was lower than the medium. Who among the 5 got the highest rank? Now, so to answer this, let us consider each statement alone first. So, first statement, Atul was the last rank holder. So, Atul will be in the last position, that is 5th rank. Okay. And Chetan's rank was lower than the medium, which means he cannot be in 3, 2 or 1. So, Chetan must be the 4th rank holder. And Bala got a higher rank compared to Chetan, and Dev got a higher rank compared to Ernesto. So Bala, if he is in 3rd rank, Dev will be in 1st rank and Ernesto will be in the 2nd rank. This is one possibility. So the other possibility will be in the same 5 positions, the last 2 positions are fixed, Chetan and Atul. If Bala is in 2nd rank, Dev could be in 1st rank and Ernesto could be in the 3rd rank. There is also another possibility where Ernesto is in the 1st rank, Dev is 2nd rank, Bala is 3rd, Chetan is 4th and Atul is 5th. Like this we have 3 different possibilities when it compares when we consider only the first statement. So which means the statement 1 does not give a definite answer, so that is not sufficient to provide answer for the question. We are getting 2 different answers, that's why statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Now let us consider only the second statement. Bala was not among the top 2 rank holders. Okay, so now we are considering only the second statement. Forget whatever happened in the first statement. Bala was not among the top 2 rank holders, and Bala got a higher rank compared to Chetan. So Bala could be in the 4th rank also. He cannot be in the 5th rank because there is Chetan who got less rank than Bala. And we know that Dev got a higher rank than Ernesto. So Dev could be here, Ernesto could be here, and Atul could be here. So this is one possibility. Since no one's position is known, Bala could be here, Chetan could be here, Atul could be here, Dev could be here and Ernesto could be here. So only if we consider these 2 possibilities, we are not getting any definite answer for the question through statement B, which means statement B alone does not provide the answer. Now, when these 2 are considered, now we have to combine both the statements and check whether they are providing answer or not. According to first statement, Atul is in the last rank, 5th rank, and Bala, Chetan's rank was lower than the medium, so Chetan could be in this position, 4th. And we have Bala, who got a higher rank compared to Chetan, and Bala was not among the top two rank holders. So Bala should be in the third rank. And among Ernesto and Dev got the higher rank. So Dev should be first rank and Ernesto should be the second rank. By combining both the statements, we get one definite arrangement in terms of rank. So from this, we will be able to get the highest rank holder. So the answer can be provided when we combine both the statements. So that option has to be marked. Let us see the next question. How many Hindi students got more than 40 marks? So let us consider statement A alone. 70% of the total students got 40% mark. The remaining students could have got less than 40% mark. And also we see that they are asking how many got more than 40 marks. So they are asking in terms of marks, not in percentage. So statement A does not provide any answer. 20% of the students securing 40% marks are Hindi students. Now here also we are talking about only the percentage. We do not have the base value or the total number of students we don't have. Based on that only we will be able to calculate percentage and find out the exact value. Here, since the base value is not provided in both of these statements, we won't be able to find out the answer. So both the statements are not sufficient to get the answer, should be the option that has to be marked. How far is X from Z? Okay. Statement A alone we will take. X is 2 km away from Y. So X is 2 km away from Y. So statement 1 doesn't provide any detail about Z. We cannot find out the distance between X and Y. Now statement 2 says Y is 5 km away from Z. So distance between Y and Z is 5 km. Now in second statement there is no comparison of X, so we cannot find the distance between X and Z. Now let us combine both the statements. X is 2 km away from Y and Y is 5 km away from Z. So when we take the total distance, we will get 7 kilometers, but there is no statement suggesting that X, Y and Z are in the same order. There is another possibility where X is here, Z is here and Y is here. So X and Y 2 km, Y and Z 5 km, but X and Z could be just 3 kilometers. There is also multiple possibilities other than this. X, Y, they are 2 kilometers away and Y and Z are 5 kilometers away. So this distance has to be found out, which is not possible without knowing the angle. So which means even after we combine both the statements, we don't get the answer. In a class of 30 students, Rashmi secured third rank among the girls, while her brother Kumar, studying in the same class, secured sixth rank in the whole class. Between the two, who had a better overall rank? Now let us consider only the statement A. Kumar was among top 25% of the boys merit list in the class, in which 60% were boys. So out of 30 students, 18% of them were boys, which will 60% of them were boys. Which gives 18 boys in the class. Now, only if we consider statement A, he is in the top 25%, which means we don't know where these boys are positioned. All the boys from 1 to 18 could be in the first ranks. So all these could be boys. First 1 to 18th rank could be boys, and 19th to 30th rank could be girls. So this is one possibility. There is another possibility where the first 12 ranks were girls and the last 18 ranks were boys. So in that case, we will not be able to find out which rank he has got, or it could be after 12th rank or it could be before 18th rank. So we cannot find out in which position Kumar is using statement 1 alone. Now let us consider the second statement. There were 3 boys among the top 5 rank holders and 3 girls among the top 10 rank holders. So among the top 5 there are 3 boys, and among the top 10 there are 3 girls. Now all the 3 boys could be 1, 2 and 3rd rank, or all of them could be 3rd, 4th and 5th, or these 3 boys, their ranks can be arranged in multiple ways. So there are so many possibilities, we cannot find out a definite rank for Kumar. And nothing was said about Kumar or about Rashmi in the statement. So nothing can be found out about Kumar's rank or Rashmi's rank from the second statement. So second statement alone is not sufficient. Now we will try to combine both the statements together. Kumar was amongst the top 25 of the boys merit list in the class, in which 60% were boys. Now top 25 percentage. So 25 percentage of boys. Let us see how much it is. 25 percentage of 18 is 4.5. Now he is in the top 4.5, or exactly it is top 4 percentage. So among the boys, Kumar could be of first among the boys, or second among the boys, or third or fourth among the boys. And there were 3 boys among the top 5 rank holders, and there are 3 girls among the top 10 rank holders. Now Kumar could be in the top 5, because if Kumar belongs to top 3 of the boys, he will be in the top 5 ranks. And if he is 4, he will be, in this case his rank will be between 1 and 5. In this case his rank will be between 6 and 10. Okay, it could be anything from 6 to 10. And there were 3 girls in the top 10 rank holders. So that means there are exactly 2 girls in the top 5 and 1 girl in the next 5. So 1 to 5 there are 2 girls, and 6 to 10 there is only 1 girl in the ranking. Even though we do not have now Rashmi secured 3rd rank among the girls. Okay, now if Rashmi secured 3rd rank, her rank is from 6 to 10, any one rank from 6 to 10. Now Kumar, if he is in the top 3 among the boys, he would have scored a better rank than Rashmi. If he was the 4th among the boys, we cannot say whether which exact rank he has scored. It could be either 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, anything. So here we are not having any definite rank for both Kumar and Rashmi, which means we cannot provide who got the better overall rank among these two. So even after combining both the statements, we are not getting an answer. Is the average of largest and the smallest of 4 given numbers greater than the average of the 4 numbers? So let us take, there are 4 numbers. Let us consider them as A, B, C and D. So these 4 numbers, let us consider them in the ascending order. A being the least and D being the highest. Now, according to statement A, the difference between largest and second largest number is greater than the difference between second smallest and the smallest number. Now, what they are saying is D minus C is greater than B minus A. So when we take the variables to the other side, we get D plus A is greater than B plus C. Now we have to assign some values for A, B, C and D such that this conditions satisfy. So let us say A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to 3 and D is equal to 5. If we consider 4, A plus D and B plus C will become, B plus C and A plus D will become equal. So we have to consider D a little more than 4. So in that case, D plus A is 6 and B plus C is 5, and this particular condition is satisfied by these two equations. Now, what we are supposed to do is we have to add and find out the average of all the four numbers. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 whole divided by 4 will give 11 by 4, which is 2.75. Now the average of largest and the smallest number will be 1 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 3. Now we know that 3 is greater than 2.75. So which means the average of largest and the smallest of the four given numbers is greater than the average of all the four numbers. So here, using statement A, we are getting yes as an answer. Okay, statement A is providing one answer for us. Now let us consider statement B. Difference between the largest and the second largest numbers is less than difference between the second largest numbers and the second smallest number. Now, difference between largest and the second largest number, which is D minus C, is less than difference between second largest, which is C, and the second smallest number minus B. Minus B. C minus B. So from this we get D plus B is equal to 2C. It is less than 2C. D plus B is less than 2C, and we do not have any comparison or any relation to get the value of A. Now D plus B means largest number and the second smallest number is the sum of those two numbers is less than 2C, and we don't have anything about A, which means from statement B we do not get any answer, which means in this question statement A alone gives the answer, so we have to mark that particular option. Among P, Q, R, S and T, which bag is the lightest? So now let us consider only statement A. So it says P is heavier than Q. So P is heavier than Q and R is heavier than Q. So R could be heavier than Q and lighter than P, or R could be heavier than P also. Okay. In this statement we don't have any relation about, and there is also another thing, T is lighter than R. So in that case T could be anywhere. So we do not have all the 5 elements compared in this particular statement, which means obviously it doesn't give any clue about which is the lightest. So now let us consider only the second statement. S is lighter than Q but heavier than T. So S is lighter than Q but heavier than T. And in this statement there is no information about P and R, which means we cannot determine which is the lightest one. So second statement alone doesn't give any answer. Now let us combine both the statements. P is heavier than Q and R is as heavy as Q. Sorry, R is as heavy as Q. T is lighter than R. Okay, so which means we have to reconsider the first statement also. So R is as heavy as Q. Okay. Now, so from this we cannot determine and S is lighter than Q but heavier than T. That is the second statement. So S is lighter than Q but heavier than T, from which we can determine that S and then T. So among this order, T is the last one, or it is the lightest one when we arrange it in descending order of weight. So by combining both the statements, we are getting answer for this question. Is X the wife of Y? X's daughter M is the only sister of R. R is the son of Y. So X's daughter M is the only sister of R. So, and R is the son of Y. R is the son of Y. Now, some of the students might consider this is providing the answer, but statement A alone cannot provide the answer because we do not know the gender of both X and Y in this particular statement. So X is daughter of M. Sorry, X is the daughter of M. Sorry for this. X is the daughter of M, and sorry, whatever I did earlier was correct. X's daughter M. So X daughter is M, and M is the only sister of R, and R is the only son of Y. We don't know the gender of X and Y, so we cannot find the answer. We cannot provide whether X is the wife of Y. Now let us consider the second statement alone. The mother of Y has only one grandson. So the mother of Y, so Y's mother has only one grandson. So that could be Y's son, which is R. So from this statement alone, we cannot relate or bring up the relationship between X and Y. So second statement alone is insufficient. So X's daughter M. Let us combine both the statements together. X's daughter M is the only sister of R. So M and R are siblings, and M is the daughter of X, and R is the son of Y. So we have obtained this using statement 1. The mother of Y has only one grandson. So the mother of Y's mother has only one grandson. So that should be R. And here also we do not know the gender of Y, which makes it impossible to find the the relationship between X and Y. So even after combining both the statements, we do not get the relationship between X and Y, or who is the wife of whom. We cannot find that out. So both statements are insufficient. The value of a kit depends on number of leaves in the kit. How many leaves are there in the kit? So statement A says medium size kit values rupees 850. If only we know the number of leaves in medium size kit, we will be able to find out or we have to find out how many leaves are there in the kit. So if we know the value of one leaf, we will be able to find out how many leaves are there in that kit. So value of one leaf we do not know. There are 55 leaves in the smallest sized kit. So in the smallest sized kit there are 55 leaves, But if we know the total value of the smallest size, we will be able to find out what is the number of or what is the value of one leaf, and using that we can combine it with the statement A and we can find out how many leaves are in that kit. So in each statement there is no the depending value or corresponding value that is required to calculate per leaves price, so we cannot find the answer even using both the statements. If A and B are non-negative numbers, is A plus B greater than A into B? Now, statement A says A is equal to B. A and B are non-negative numbers. So, A is equal to B means A is 1, B is also 1. So, in that case, A into B will be 1 and A plus B will be 2. They are asking, is A plus B greater than A into B? So in this assumption we are getting yes as an answer. If we consider A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 10, A into B will be 100 and A plus B will be just 20. In this case we are getting no as an answer for the question. So same statement provides yes in one consideration and no in another consideration. So it is not giving a definite answer, which means statement A alone cannot provide the answer. Now let us consider statement B. A plus B is greater than A square plus B square. So we know that A and B are non-negative numbers and A plus B is greater than A square plus B square. So A plus B to be greater than A square plus B square, both A value and B value should be greater than 0. A value and B value should be greater than 0 and less than 1. Only in this particular case we will get A plus B is greater than A square plus B square. For example, let us take 2 and 3 for A and B. So A square is 4 and B square is 9, so which adds up to 13, but A plus B is just 5. So this doesn't satisfy. But if you consider, for example, 0.4 and 0.6, let us assume this for A and B. So 0.4 plus 0.6 is 1, but 0.4 square is 0.16, 0.6 square is 0.36. When we add these two, we get 0.52 and A plus B is greater than A square plus B square. Now, so second statement's condition satisfy only for decimal numbers. A and B are non-negative numbers, that's all they have given, but it is not necessary it should be a natural number. So it could be a decimal number also. So now let us consider the same values. A is 0.4, A is 0.4 and B is 0.6. When you add these two, you get 1. When you multiply these two things, we get 0.24. And here A plus B is greater than A into B, which means we are getting an answer yes for second statement. So second statement alone is capable of providing in the answer. So that is what we should mark in the option. Zakib spends 30% of his income on his children's education, 20% on recreation and 10% on healthcare. The corresponding percentage for Supriyo are 40%, 25% and 13%. Who spends more on children's education? So let us take Zakib and Supriyo. And the different expenses are education, recreation and healthcare. Now Zakib spends 30% on education, 20% on recreation and 10% on healthcare. Whereas Supriyo spends 40% on education, 25% on recreation and 13% on healthcare. Now we have to find out who is spending more on children's education. Now statement A says Zakib spends more on recreation than Supriyo. So let us say Zakib earns rupees 100. And his recreation, the amount he spends on recreation is 20%, which means rupees 20 is spent by Zakib towards recreation. And this rupees 20 is more than the amount spent by Supriyo on the same recreation. Now Supriyo spends 25% on recreation, so his 25% should be less than 20. So let us take Supriyo's total income is 79.99. Why we are taking this value? Because it is almost equal to 80 but not equal to 80. Now, so 25% of 80, we know it is 20, and if Zakib's expense on recreation should to be more than Supriyo's expense on recreation, Supriyo's salary should be less than 80. So in that case, it will be little less than 20 rupees. Now, this is the maximum value. 79.99 is the maximum value Supriyo could earn according to the condition. And what is 40% of this value? 40% of this value, 79.99, is approximately equal to 32. And 30% of Zakib's salary will be approximately equal to rupees 30. So in that case, Supriyo is spending more on children's education, but Supriyo's salary could also be just 40 rupees. Total salary could be just 40 rupees. In that case also, Zakib's expense on recreation is more than Supriyo's expense. And in that 40% is how much? It is only 16 rupees. In that case, Supriyo is spending less than Zakib on education. So according to this particular case where it is almost equal to 80 rupees, Supriyo is spending more. But when it goes to 40 rupees or whenever it gets lesser, the expense he makes on education also get lesser, and at one point it also goes less than Zakib's expense. So in some cases Zakib is spending more, and in some cases Supriyo is spending more, which means we cannot find out the answer based on statement A alone. Now let us go to the second statement. Second statement says Zakib spends more on healthcare than Supriyo spends more on healthcare than Zakib. Now let us consider Supriyo's salary is rupees 100 and 13% of it will be rupees 13, and Zakib's expense on healthcare is only 10%, and it should be less than Supriyo's. For that, Zakib's salary could be up to 130, that is, it should be less than 130, so that 10% of that will be less than 13. Now, Zakib's salary should be less than 130. Okay, it cannot go more than 130. Let us find out what is 30% of 130. 30% of 130 is 39, and 40% of 100 is rupees 40. Now, whatever the scenario may be, Supriyo is spending more on education than Zakib in the statement B. So which means statement B alone is sufficient to provide the answer. On which day of the week did Saurav visit Delhi? According to statement A, Saurav visited Delhi after Monday, so that is after Monday any day, and before Thursday. And he also didn't visit on an odd day. So first day of the week is Sunday, second day is Monday, third day is Tuesday, fourth day is Wednesday, and fifth day is Thursday. So he visited between Monday and Thursday, and he did not visit on an odd day, which means he visited on the fourth day, which is Wednesday. So based on statement 1, we are getting an answer. Now let us consider only the second statement. Saurav visited Delhi before Friday, but after Monday. So according to second statement, so he visited before Friday and after Monday. In between there is Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So it could be on any one of these days. So we cannot determine on which day he went. So statement B alone doesn't provide any answer. Statement A alone provides the answer. So we have to mark that option. Does mental labor reduce weight? Statement A says mental labor is more hazardous than physical labor. Now, there is no indication of physical labor reducing weight directly, and even if that is the case, hazardous things, whether they will reduce the weight or not, that we do not know. So statement A alone is not providing any answer. Statement B, mental labor destroys both strength and concentration. Now here also, destroying strength and concentration is not linked with reducing weight, so which means statement 2 also is not providing any answer. Even when we combine both the statements, we will not get determine definite answer for this particular question. So both statements are not sufficient to provide the answer. What is the value of x? X minus y is 5 and x plus y is 15. Here we have two equations with two variables, and if each of the equations are taken alone, we will not be getting a definite answer for x, but when we combine and solve them simultaneously, we will get the answer. For example, this is not required to be done during the exam, just to make sure I am just solving this. X minus y is equal to 5 and x plus y is equal to 15. When I add these two values equations, what we get is 2x is equal to 20 and x is equal to 10. So this particular calculation is not required, since we know with two equations with two unknown variables, if they are consistent, we will get the answer. Here both statements together are required to get the answer. On which day is M's birthday? Now, it could be any day from Sunday till Saturday. Statement A says M's birthday is not on a working day. So we do not know what are the working days. If there are 6 working days, we could choose the 7th one as the day in which he was born, but there is no indication of those things. So statement A alone is not providing an answer. Statement B, M works on Sundays. Now, if we consider that particular statement alone, it only says M works on Sundays. It doesn't show any indication about his birthday. So statement B alone is not sufficient. And even if you combine both the statements, M's birthday is not on a working day and M works on Sundays, we do not know which day of the week he is not working. So which means we cannot say on which day M is born. Both statements are not sufficient to provide the answer. Tarak is standing 2 steps to the left of a red mark. So let us say this is the red mark, and 3 steps to the right of a blue mark. So this is the blue mark, and let us say Tarak is standing at this point. Now, if it comes up heads, he tosses a coin. If it comes up heads, he moves 1 step to the right. Otherwise, he moves 1 step to the left. He keeps doing this until he reaches one of the 2 marks, and then he stops. At which mark does he stop? Now, statement A says he stops after 21 coin tosses. Only based on that we cannot provide the answer, because we don't know what are the results obtained in those 21 coin tosses. He obtains 3 more tails than heads. So from this statement we will be able to say that 12 times he got tails and 9 times he got heads. So whenever he gets a tail, he moves 1 step towards the left. Okay, so let us say he goes 12 steps like this. and whenever he gets a head, he moves one step towards the right. So this is 3 steps. He has already been 12 steps this side, and he comes 9 steps like this. So this is the total movement made by him. And so in whichever order the heads and tails could occur, this is the overall result that he will get. Okay, so based on this, at which mark does he stop? That is the question they are asking. Now, so based on this particular condition, some students might say when combining both the statements we will be getting the answer, and the answer is blue mark. But that is not true. Let us say why. If the blue mark is here, if the blue mark is here and the red mark is this side, the first thing what we need to understand is which direction he is facing. If he is facing towards you, in that case this will be his left side and this will be his right side. But in the same time, if he is facing away from you, this will be his right side and this will be his left side. So we do not know which direction he is facing. So without that particular detail, we will never be able to answer this particular question. We will get 2 different answers. So even after combining both the statements, we are not getting an answer. That has to be marked in the option. Ravi spent less than rupees 75 to buy 1 kilogram each of potato, onion and gourd. Which one of these 3 vegetables bought was the costliest? Now statement A says 2 kg of potato. Let us say price of potato is P and price of onion is O, 1 kg onion is O, and price of 1 kg of gourd is G. So these are the prices. Now 2 kg of potato and 1 kg of gourd, that is 2P plus 1G is less than 1P plus 2G. Based on this statement, when we bring everything to the one side, what happens is 1 kg of potato is less than 1 kg of gourd. So from this we get potato is cheaper than gourd, or gourd is the costliest one when compared to potato and gourd. Okay. Second statement says, using the first statement alone, we are not getting which is the costliest vegetable, because there is no comparison between potato and onion or gourd and onion, so we cannot determine that. So let us get to the second statement. The second statement says 1 kg potato, that is 1P, and 2 kg onion, 2 kg onion together cost the same as 1 kg onion and 2 kg gourd. Now from this we get 1 kg of onion is equal to 2 kg of gourd minus 1 kg of potato. This is the price of 1 kg of onion. Now using this statement alone, using second statement alone, we are not getting a perfect answer. We cannot find out which among these 3 is the costliest. Now let us combine both. We know that P value is less than G value. That means 2 kilograms of gourd minus 1 kilogram of potato will be greater than, so this particular part 2 kg of gourd minus 1 kg of potato will be greater than 1 kg of gourd, and 1 kg of onion is equal to 2 kg of gourd minus 1 kg of potato, which is greater than 1 kg of gourd. So from combining both, we get potatoes price less than goat and goat's price less than onion, which means onion is the costliest vegetable that he has bought. Both the statements are required to answer this question. Sneha borrowed a certain amount at compound interest and returned the amount with interest in 2 equal installments. What was the amount borrowed? So statement A says rate of interest was 10% per annum. So only using rate of interest we cannot find out how much she has borrowed. So statement A alone doesn't give the answer. Statement B says each installment was rupees 1210. We know that there were 2 installments, which means total amount would have been 2 into 1210, which is 2420. Now we know the total amount paid, but without knowing the rate of interest we will not be able to find out the amount borrowed. Now when we combine both the statements, what will happen? Now 2420 is the amount paid, and which is 110% of the amount borrowed, principal amount that has been borrowed. Now, so by solving this, we will get the principal amount as 2200. So by combining both the statements, we are getting answer. That particular option has to be marked. 30% of the employees of a call center are males. 10% of the female employees have an engineering background. What is the percentage of male employees with engineering background? Now, let us assume there are 100 employees in that organization. So in that 30 of them are male and the remaining 70 would be female. And statement A says 25% of the employees have engineering background. So totally 25 members are engineers. And in the question statement they have given 10% of the female employees have an engineering degree. So 10% of 70 is 7. So out of 25 engineers, 7 of them belong to female, and the remaining 18 should belong to male. 18 engineers are from male. And we can find out that 18 is what percentage of 30, and that gives 60%. So 60% of male employees are engineers. So statement A alone gives an answer. Now let us consider statement B. Number of male employees having an engineering background is 20% more than the number of female employees having an engineering background. Now again the same thing. There are 100 employees, 30 of them are male and 70 of them are female, and there is 10% of female who are engineers, which is 7. Now the number of employees having an engineering background is 20% more than number of female employees having an engineering background. So 7 plus 20% of 7 gives 8.4. Out of 100, 8.4 employees are male who are also engineers. So here also we can find out the percentage of 8.4 in 30. So this will provide 28%. So 28% of the male are engineers. Now statement 1 also gives an answer, statement 2 also gives an answer. Individually both of them give answer. So we have to mark the option. Either statement A or statement B individually can provide the answer for the question. So these are the questions from data sufficiency, and I hope you all understood how we have to analyze step by step. We have to consider each statement one by one. First thing, we have to check whether any one of the statement provides answer. Then we have to check whether both of them combined together provides the answer. Then we have to check whether if either of them provides the answer. If none of them happens, then we have to go with both the statements or not provide. Find the missing number. from the series out of the given options. Now, so let us analyze the series. There should be some pattern in it, and based on the pattern, we have to find the next number. So, 1, 9, 17, 33, 49, 73. These are the numbers that are given. Now, the difference between 1 and 9 is 8. Difference between 9 and 17 is 8. 17 and 33, the difference is 16. 33 and 49, the difference is 16. 49 and 73, the difference is 24. So if you see, the difference is 8, 8, 16, 16. The next difference are 24 and 24. So 73 plus 24 will give the next number, which is 97. So option B is the correct answer. Find the missing number from the series. So the numbers given are 1, 6, 15, and there is the missing number. We have 45, 66 and 91. So the difference between 1 and 6 is 5, 6 and 15 is 9, 45 and 66 is 21, 66 and 91 is 25. Now the difference between 5 and 9 is 4, difference between 21 and 25 is 4. Sorry, this value is 4. Now the same difference should occur all over. So 15 plus 9 plus 4 is 13. So 15 plus 13 should be the other number, and 13 plus 4 is 17. So 17, this missing number plus 17 should give 45. So 15 plus 13 is 28, and 28 plus 17 is 45. So the condition satisfy in both the sides. So 28 is the missing number. Find the missing number from the series. So the numbers given are 20, 19, 17, then the missing number, then we have 10, and then we have 5. Difference between 20 and 19 is 1, 19 and 17 is 2, difference between 10 and 5 is 5. So we can assume that the difference between 17 and the missing number is 3, and the missing number and 10 is 4. So 17 minus 3 is 14, 14 minus 4 is 10. So 20 minus 1 is 19, 19 minus 2 is 17, 17 minus 3 is 14, 14 minus 4 is 10, and 10 minus 5 is 5. So the missing number should be 14, option C. Find the missing number from the series out of the given options. We have 9, 2, 38, 3, 114 and 4. The missing number has to be found out. So 19 into 2 is 38, we know that, and 38 into 3 is 114. Now after 2 it is 3, after 3 it is 4. So 114 into 4 is 456. So that is the missing number. Option C is the right answer. Find the missing number from the series. We have 0.5. That into 3 will give 1.5, and 1.5 into 3 gives 4.5. 4.5 into 3 gives 13.5. So every time the previous number is multiplied with 3 to get the next number. So the next number in the series will be 13.5 into 3, which is 40.5. So option A is the right answer. Find the wrong term out of the given options. So there is one series with certain pattern. Only one number doesn't follow that pattern. We have to find out which number that is. So we have 24, 27, 31, 33, 36, 39. So 24 plus 3 is 27, 27 plus 4 is 31, 31 plus 2 is 33, 33 plus 3 is 36, 36 plus 3 is 39. So this number here it is plus 4. So instead of plus 4, if we put plus 3, and instead of plus 2, if we put plus 3, let us see what series we get. So we'll get 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39. This is a perfect pattern, or we can also say these are the multiples of 3. So except for 31, all other numbers satisfy the condition. So the wrong term in this series should be 31. Find the wrong term out of the given options. So we have this long series 3, 2, 8, 9, 13, 22, 18, 32, 23 and 42. Now we have this fluctuating series. It is decreasing and then increasing. So we will try with two series combined into one particular series. If you see the alternate numbers, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 5 is 18, 18 plus 5 is 23. So this is one series that follows certain pattern. Let us take the other series. 2 plus 7 is 9, 9 plus 13 is 22, 22 plus 10 is 32, 32 plus 10 is 42. So totally 40 is added. Here it is 7 is added and 13 is added. But instead, if we had added 10 in both cases, what would have happened? 3, 2, 8, 2 plus 10 is 12, then 13, 12 plus 10 is 22, and we have 18, 22 plus 10 is 32, we have 23, and 32 plus 10 is 42. Now if you see, the difference between these alternate series is 10. Everywhere it is 10 increased. So the wrong term in the series is 9. Find the wrong number out of the given options. So we have 89, we have 78, 86, 80, 85, 82 and 83. So here 89 minus 11 is 78, 78 plus 9 is 86, 86 minus 6 is 80, 80 plus 5 is 85, 85 minus 3 is 82, 82 plus 1 is 83. Now we have minus 11 plus 9, minus 6 plus 5, minus 3 plus 1. The only thing that doesn't fit here is minus 6. All others are in the decreasing order of odd numbers. So instead of minus 6, what if we put minus 7? So 89 minus 11 is 78. 78 plus 9 is 86. 86 minus 7 is 79. 79 plus 5 is 84. 84 minus 3 is 81, and 81 plus 1 is 82. Sorry, there is this calculation mistake. Here it is actually 78 plus 8 is 86. 78 plus 8 is 86, but instead of plus 8, let us put minus 9, and instead of plus 9, and instead of minus 6, let us put minus 7. So 78 plus 9 will give 87, and 87 minus 7 will give 80. 80 plus 5 will give 85. 85 minus 3 will give 82, and 82 plus 1 will give 83. So the difference is there should have been 87 to get a proper order, but we have 86, so 86 is the wrong number. So they have given one ratio, that is 343 is to 10. We are supposed to find out which of the options follow the same pattern. Now, the common mistake done by most of the people is they will just add the digits. 3 plus 4 plus 3 is 10. Similarly, they would like to answer in the same way with the option. But in these options, there is no pattern that satisfies this particular condition. Now, we know that the moment we see that 343, we should remember that it is 7 cube. Okay, and how is 10 related to 7? It is 7 plus 3. Now, let us see whether any option satisfies this. Now, for that, the left hand side number should be a perfect cube. Except for 1000, no other values are perfect cube in the options. So 1000 is 10 cube. So the right hand side number should be 10 plus 3. So which is 1000 is to 13. So this particular thing satisfies the pattern that is given in the question. So option D is the right answer. The same thing, we have 36 is to 1290. We know that 36 is 6 square, and 1290 is 1296 minus 6. So basically this particular pattern can be written as 6 square is to 6 power 4 minus 6, or x square is to x power 4 minus x. So this particular pattern has to be satisfied in these options. Now, the perfect square in the left hand side is from options B and C, 25. Now, 25 is 5 square, 5 power 4 is 625, and minus 5 will give 25 is to 620. So option B satisfies the answer or condition that is given in the question. In a certain code, triple is written as SQHOKD. So triple is written as S Q H O K D. Now we all know that in alphabetical order, after S it is T, after Q it is R, after H it is I, after O it is P, after K it is L, and after D it is E. So the same pattern has to be applied for dispose. Now after C it is D, after H it is I, after R it is S, after O it is P, after N it is O, after R it is S, and after D it is E. So this should be the answer that we are looking for. Option C is the right answer. If victory is coded as YLFWRUB, then how can success be coded? Now, victory, let us write the words. Now, the third letter after V is Y, because V W X Y. So when we see that, we get W X Y. After I it is J K L. After C it is D E F. After T it is U V W. After O it is P Q R. After R it is S T U. After Y it is Z, and the cycle again starts with A, and then we get B. Now, so this is the pattern that is coded for victory. The same thing has to be done for success. So S U C C E S S. After S it is T U V. After U it is V W X. After C it is D E F. Same thing happens here, D E F. And after E it is F G H. After S it is T U V. Here also T U V. So V X F F H V V. That should be our answer. Option B is the right answer. If Z is written in the place of B, X is written for A, W for D, U for C, T for F, and so on, then how will big face be written? Now, A replaces A is replaced with X, and B is replaced with Z, C is replaced with U, D is replaced with W, F is replaced with T. Now, in alphabetical order, let us find out what are the numbers that belong to these letters. X is 24th letter, Z is 26th letter, U is 21, W is 23, T is 20. Now let us see a pattern. 24 minus 3 is 21, 26 minus 3 is 23, 23 minus 3 is 20. So 21 minus 3 should be 18, and 18 minus 3 is 15, and 20 minus 3 is 17, and 15 minus 3 is 12. Now 18th letter in English alphabet is R, which means E is replaced with R. 15th letter is O, which means G is replaced with O. 17th letter is Q. So H should be replaced with Q. 12th letter is L. So L should replace I. So big face, B should be replaced with Z. I should be replaced with L. And G should be replaced with O. F should be replaced with T. A should be replaced with X. C should be replaced with U. And E should be replaced with R. So option D is the correct answer. If in a code language, could is written as B N T K C, which means after B it is C, after N it is O, after T it is U, after K it is L, after C it is D. So that means one decrement is done from each letter to get the code. The same thing has to be done for molding. Before M it is L. Before O it is N. Before U it is T. Before L it is K. Before D it is C. Before I it is H. Before N it is M. Before G it is F. So L N T K C H M F. Option D is the right answer. The numbers of the clocks are substituted by letters starting from 3 in an anti-clockwise direction. 3 is substituted for C. Okay, so the first letter is C. Then 2 is substituted by E. 1 is substituted by H. 12 is substituted by L. So this is 3, 2, 1, 12 o'clock. Before 12 o'clock in anti-clockwise direction it is 11 o'clock, and after that it is 10 o'clock. Now C is the third letter in alphabet, E is the fifth letter in alphabet, H is 8th letter, L is 12th letter. Now here 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 5 is 17. So 17th letter of the English alphabet is Q. 17 plus 6 is 23. So 23rd letter of English alphabet is W. So 10 o'clock will be replaced with the letter W. How many pairs of letters are there in the word forgotten which have as many letters between them in the word as in the alphabet? Now F O R G O T T E N. F is the 6th letter, O is 15th letter, R is 18th letter, G is 7th letter, O is 15th letter, T is 20th letter, and again T is 20th letter, E is 5th letter, and N is 14th letter. Now F is first, O is second letter, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now 2 and 7 sorry 2 and 7 have difference 5, and 15 and 20 have difference 5. So this is one pair which satisfies the condition. and 1 plus 8 is 9 and 6 plus 8 is 14. So this is another pair which satisfies the condition. So there are only two pairs that satisfies this condition. So the answer is 2. If the first half of the above sequence is written in reverse order, so let us find out how many terms are there. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So the first half will be the first 12 terms and they have to be written in reverse order. So 9, H, G, F, 2, 1, D, 9, dollar, ampersand, B, A, and the remaining will be kept as it is. So 2, U, V, N, M, N, Q, O, question mark, euros, and 8. Which symbol or letter will be 6 to the left of the letter V? So this is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth, and this is sixth letter to the left of V. So dollar symbol is the correct answer. The following questions, alphabets bear a random sequence numbering. Find the numerals that would represent the following words. If stream is written as 23, 24, 22, 9, 5 and 17. Okay. Stream. S is the 19th letter in English alphabet, T is 20th letter, R is 18th letter, E is 5th letter, A is first letter and M is 13th letter. Now 19 plus 4 is 23, 23 and 20 plus 4 is 24, 18 plus 4 is 22, 5 plus 4 is 9, 1 plus 4 is 5 and 13 plus 4 is 17. So we have to find out the order of each letter and we have to increase 4 to that number. So Brook, B R O O K, B is 2, R is 18, O is 15 and another again O is 15 and K is 11. Increase 4 to each number, we get 6, 22, 19, 19 and 15. So this is the answer that we are looking for. Option C is the correct answer. Professor Mathur and Professor Singh attended All India Historian Meet, and so a lot of unwanted data is given. So the important thing is Professor Mathur told Professor Singh, I found out that your teaching experience is twice that of mine. So Professor Mathur said Professor Singh that Singh's teaching experience is twice that of Mathur's. So Singh's experience is twice of Mathur. And Professor Mathur continued, but last time when we both of us came for the meet, I remember that your teaching experience was thrice that of mine, and they met 2 years back. So 2 years back, experience of Singh would have been S minus 2, and that of Mathur will be M minus 2, but it was thrice of Singh's. So thrice of Mathur's experience was Singh's experience. Now, substitute 2m in this particular equation. S is equal to 2m. So what happens? 2m minus 2 is equal to 3m minus 6. So from this we get m is equal to 4. And we are supposed to find out Professor Singh's experience. So substitute that in this particular equation. Professor Singh's experience is equal to twice of 4, which gives 8 years experience. So option B is the correct answer. Instead of solving with equations, we can go with the options. For example, if this is the answer, 2 years back the experience would have been 10 years, and 10 will not be a multiple of 3, so we can neglect. If 10 is the answer, 2 years before Singh's experience would have been 8. Even 8 is not a multiple of 3, so this is not the answer. 16, if we take as the answer, 2 years back the experience would have been 14. Even 14 is not a multiple of 3. Why we are looking for multiple of 3? 2 years back Singh's experience was thrice of Mathur's experience. So what happens here is, if you take 8 as the answer, 8 minus 2 is 6, which is a multiple of 3. So present experiences of Singh and Mathur. If Singh is 8, Mathur is 4, because twice of Mathur is Singh. 2 years before, Singh's experience would have been 6 and Mathur's experience would have been 2, and 4 into 2 gives 8, 2 into 3 gives 6, so everything satisfies. So we can just go with the option and solve the answer. Poultry and Sundry are two bird hunters. They went to the woods. Poultry fires 5 shots when Sundry fire 7 shots. So firing is in the ratio 5:7 for Poultry and Sundry, but Poultry kills 2 out of 5 while Sundry kills 3 out of 7. Poultry kill is to miss ratio is 2:3, because out of 5 he kills 2 and misses 3. Similarly for Sundry, it is 3:4, because he kills 3 out of 7 and misses the remaining 4. Now when Sundry had missed 32 shots, that is, for Sundry it is kill divided by miss is equal to 3/4. So when Sundry has missed 32, he would have killed 24. So when Sundry had missed 32 shots, then how many birds have Poultry killed? So when Sundry missed 32, that means he has killed 24. So total number of shots fired will be 56. Now this has to be utilized in this particular ratio. When Sundry made 56 shots, Poultry would have made how many shots? That we are supposed to find out. So their firing ratio is 5:7. So if Sundry had fired 56, how much Poultry would have fired? So when we solve this particular thing, we get 40 for the number of shots fired by Poultry. Now, how many birds he had killed? So we know that for Poultry, kill is to miss ratio is 2:3, right? So 40 has to be split in the ratio 2:3, which means 40 divided by 5 into 2 will give the number of birds that he had killed, which is 16. So option B is the right answer. Now let us see the alternate method. Instead of using all these calculations, let us go with the alternate method. Now the ratios given are kill is to miss ratio 2 is to 3 is to 2 is to 3 is for poultry, and 3 is to 4 is for sundry. So which means we can consider 2 is to 3 is to 4 is the combined ratio. So this is given as 32. 4 units is 32, so 2 units will be 16. So we will get the answer directly using this method. The remainder when 2 power 39 is divided by 39. So let us see. So remainder of 2 power 39 divided by 39 can be written as remainder of 2 power 6 to the whole power 6 into 2 power 3, where 2 power 6 is 2 power 36, 2 power 36 into 2 power 3 is 2 power 39, whole divided by 39. Now 2 power 6 is 64. So according to remainder theorem, so it becomes like remainder of 64 power 6 divided by 39 into remainder of 2 power 3 divided by 39. So this further reduces. 64 divided by 39, the remainder is 25. So remainder of 25 power 6 divided by 39 into remainder of 8 by 39. Now 25 power 6 can be reduced as remainder of 625 power 3. So 25 square is 625. So 25 square power 3 is 625 power 3 divided by 39 into remainder of 8 by 39. And we know that 39 into 16 is 624. So 625 divided by 39, the remainder is 1. So which means the remainder is 1 power 3 into 8, which is 8. So the remainder is 8 for this question. Mr. Modi can copy 40 pages in 10 minutes. Mr. Xerox and Mr. Modi both working together can copy 250 in 25 minutes. Now, so according to the first statement, Modi can copy 40 pages in 10 minutes. So per minute work is equal to 40 divided by 10 is equal to 4 pages. So Modi can type or copy 4 pages in 1 minute. Now combined work, Modi and Xerox together, they make 250 copies in 25 minutes. So in 1 minute it will be 250 divided by 25, which is 10 pages. So they can copy 10 pages together in 1 minute. So in how many minutes Mr. Xerox can copy 36 pages. So we have to find out the time taken for Xerox to copy 36 pages. Now Modi and Xerox together, they take 10 pages in 1 minute. Modi alone can take 4, that is 4 plus x is equal to 10, which means Xerox can copy 6 pages per minute. So 6 pages per minute. In this case, what happens? For 36 pages, how much time it will take? Time taken is equal to the quantity of work divided by work done in 1 minute. 36 divided by 6, which is 6 minutes. So option A is the right answer. Melinda takes 8 1 by 3 hours more when she works alone comparison when she is working with Bill. So let us take combined time taken for Melinda and Bill together to complete the work as T. So when Melinda is working alone, so the time taken by Melinda will be the combined time plus 8 1 by 3 hours, which can be converted as T plus 25 by 3, which can be further converted as 3T plus 25 whole divided by 3. Now, Bill takes 5 1 by 3 hours more than the combined work. So, which means it can be reduced to T plus 16 by 3, which is 3T plus 16 whole divided by 3. And this is the time taken for them to complete one particular work. So let us combine. So to remove this numerator, let us remove this 3 by let us say they are working on thrice the quantity of work. So for that it will be, the time taken will be thrice of time taken by M will be equal to 3T plus 16, and thrice of time taken by Bill will be 3T plus 16. So for Melinda it is 3T plus 25. Okay. Now when they both are working together, the total time will be thrice of T. This is the total time taken when they are working together. Now, time taken to complete thrice of the work together is 1 by 3T, which is equal to 1 by 3T plus 25, which is the per hour work of Melinda, and per hour work of Bill will be 1 by 3T plus 16. So when we cross multiply this, we will get T is equal to 20 by 3. Okay, so we have to find out the time taken by Bill to complete a work. So time taken by Bill is 3T plus 16 whole divided by 3, which is 20 plus 16 whole divided by 3. T is 20 by 3, 3T is 20. 20 plus 16 whole divided by 3, which is 36 by 3, which is 12 hours. So the time taken by Bill to complete the work alone is 12 hours, which is option C. Pranav saves 10% of his total salary. Next year he increases his expenses by 20%, but his percentage savings remains the same. What is the percentage increase in salary next year? So let us assume his initial salary was rupees 100. Now in that amount 100 rupees he saves 10%. So his savings will be rupees 10. Next year he increases his expense. So that means in the previous salary his expense was 10 rupees less than his salary, which is 90 rupees. Now out of 90 rupees he is increasing 20%. So new expense will be 90 plus 20% of 90, which is 18, which is 108. And even though he increases his expenses by 20%, his savings percentage remains the same, which means he saves, new savings is equal to 10% of new salary. Now, we know that the remaining 90% of new salary is expense. So 108 is the new expense, which is 90% of his new salary. So when we solve this, we get new salary is equal to 120. Initially he had 100 rupees, now he has 120 rupees salary, which means he has increased the salary by 20%. So his salary increased by 20%. So we have to mark option A. Two pipes A and B can fill a cistern in 15 hours and 10 hours respectively. A tap C can empty the full cistern in 30 hours. All three taps were opened for the first 2 hours. When it was remembered that the emptying tap has also been opened, it was then closed. How many hours in total would it take for the cistern to get filled? Now, let us say totally n number of hours is required to fill the cistern under this given condition. So, pipe A can fill the tank in 15 hours, which means the fraction of tank filled in 1 hour is 1 by 15 due to pipe A, and pipe A has been opened for n hours. And pipe B can fill 1/10 of a tank in 1 hour, and it was open for n number of hours. So n into 1 by 10 is the fraction of tank filled by pipe B, and pipe C is emptying, so we have to use negative sign because it is negative work. Now it can empty 1 by 30th of the tank in 1 hour, and it was open for 2 hours. So 2 into 1 by 30 is the quantity of negative work done by pipe C. So all these together and made one complete tank to get filled. So it's basically n by 15 is the fraction of tank filled by pipe A, n by 10 is the fraction of tank filled by pipe B, and 2 by 30 is the fraction of tank emptied by pipe C. All these combined together we get one complete tank. So the LCM of 15, 10 and 30 is 30 itself. So n by 15 will become 2n by 30, n by 10 will become 3n by 30, and 2 by 30, let us keep it as it is, all becomes 1. So when we solve this, what happens is 5n by 30 is equal to 1 plus 2 by 30, or 30 by 30 plus 2 by 30, which is 32 by 30. So 30 and 30 gets cancelled. N is equal to 32 by 5, which will give 6.4, which can be written as 6 hours and 24 minutes. So this 4 is multiplied, 0.4 is multiplied with 60 to get the minutes. So 6 hours and 24 minutes. Option A is the right answer. 3 bells toll at an interval of 36 seconds, 40 seconds and 48 seconds. They start ringing together at particular time. The next toll together after how many minutes? So that's what they are asking. We just have to take the LCM of the three numbers. So 36 can be written as 2 power 2 into 3 power 2. 12 can be written as 2 power 2 into 3 power 1. Sorry, not 12, that is 48. Sorry for this. 40 seconds. So 40 seconds can be written as 2 power 2 into 5 into 2, which is actually 2 power 3 into 5 power 1. 48 can be written as 2 power 4 into 3 power 1. Now to take the LCM, we have to consider all the factors that are available. 2 is there, 3 is there and 5 is there, and we have to consider their highest powers. Highest power of 2 is 4, highest power of 3 is 2 and highest power of 5 is 1. So which gives 16 into 9 into 5, which is 720. So 720 seconds. After 720 seconds, we have all the bells ringing together. But here the options are given in minutes. To convert seconds into minutes, we have to divide it by 60. 720 divided by 60, which will give 12 minutes. So the answer is 12 minutes, option B. A company offers 120 pens to its customer. As per the scheme, 1 pen will be offered for the purchase of aptitude book. Out of 150 pens, the cost of some pens is rupees 3 and the cost of rest of the pens is rupees 5. Maximum how many customers can avail pen of rupees 5 as an offer from the company if the total cost of pens cannot exceed 745. Now, number of 3 rupee pens, let us take it as X. The number of 5 rupee pens, let us take it as Y. Total number of pens is given as 150. So X plus Y is 150. Total price of 3 rupee pens will be 3 into X. Each pen costs 3 rupees, total cost is 3x. And total cost of 5 rupee pens will be 5y. And this cannot exceed 745 rupees. Now, the number of X is the number of pens sold for 3 rupees and Y is the number of 5 rupees pen sold. So by solving this, what do we get? This equation actually becomes 3x plus 3y is equal to 450. Now by subtracting these two equations, we get 2y is equal to 295. So that gives y is equal to 147.5. So to obtain exact 745 rupees, we have to sell 147.5 pens, but the number of pens cannot be sold in decimals, which means 147 pens can be sold. So we are looking for providing 147 5 rupee pens so that the total cost of the pens does not exceed 745. If actually 147 pens of 5 rupees were sold, 147 into 5 is equal to 735, and the remaining 3 pens would be 3 rupees. 3 into 3, it will be 9 rupees. When we add 9 and 735, we get 744 as the total price of the pens that were sold. If we reduce the number of 5 rupee pens and increase the number of 3 rupee pens, it will exceed 745 rupees. For example, if it is only if we increase the number of 5 rupee pens, 148 5 rupee pens will be 740 rupees, and 2 3 rupee pens, so that will be 6 rupees. When we add these two values, we get 746, which is more than 745. So the maximum number of 5 rupee pens that can be sold is 147. So none of these is the answer. The unit digit of the following expression: 1 factorial power 99 plus 2 factorial power 98 plus 3 factorial power 97 up to 99 factorial power 1. So to obtain the unit digit, we just have to consider the unit digit of each term. So 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, 4 factorial is 24, 5 factorial is 120, 6 factorial is 720. Like that, starting from 5 factorial, all the other factorials that are above will have 0 in the unit digit, which means their powers will also be ending in 0. So no need to consider any value above 5 factorial. So here 1 factorial power 99, which is 1 power 99, unit digit will be 1. 2 power 98. 2 power 98 is 2 power 96 plus 2. This 96 is a multiple of 4. So how much ever is remaining after the multiple of 4, that has to be considered. So only consider this part to get the unit digit, which is 2 power 2. So here the unit digit is 4. 6 power anything, we know that will end in 6. And 4 power 96, 4 power even number will end in 6. So these are the unit digits that we are supposed to consider. So the unit digits here are 1, 4, 6 and 6. When we add this, we get 17, and the unit digit of that sum is 7. So unit digit of this expression is equal to 7, which is option B. Sonu can do a piece of work in 20 days. He started the work and left after some days when 25% work has been done. So the number of days that he has taken to complete the work is 5 days, which is 25% of 20. But this is not required because we already know that 25% work is done. Remaining percentage of work is very simple. Out of 100%, 25% gone. So 75% of the work is remaining. Now this 75% of the work is completed by Abhijit in 10 days. So 75% of the work is completed in 10 days. So 100% of the work will be completed in 100 into 10 divided by 75 days, which is 1000 by 75 or 40 by 3 days. So to complete the whole work, Abhijit will take 40 by 3 days, whereas Sonu will take 20 days. Now Sonu takes 20 days to complete the work and Abhijit takes 40 by 3 days to complete the work. To make the calculation simpler, we will say Sonu takes 20 by 3 days to complete the work and Abhijit takes 60 by 3 days to complete the work by Sonu, and Abhijit takes 40 by 3 days to complete the work. The total time taken if they are working together is given by the formula AB by A plus B, which is 60 into 40 whole divided by 3 into 3 whole divided by 40 by 3 plus 60 by 3. Now 40 into 60 is 2400 divided by 9 into 3 by 100. So when you cancel everything, we get 24 by 3, which is 8 days. So if they both work together, they will complete the work in 8 days. So in a laboratory, equal number of rats were injected with solution A. In a week, 55% of the rats injected with solution A got infected with the disease, and of that, equal number of rats were treated with vaccine C and vaccine D. So let us say N is the total number of rats that were available. In that, 55% of the total number of rats got affected, and out of 55%, half of the 55% of the total number of rats were injected with vaccine C, and half of 55% of total number of rats were injected with vaccine D. Now out of the rats which were injected with vaccine C, 70% of them recovered, which means 30% of them died. So 30% of half of 50% of N is the number of rats died due to vaccine C, and half 50% of the rats which had vaccine D survived, which means the remaining 50% died. So 50% of half of 55% of N is the total number of rats died due to vaccine D. So when we add these two values, we get 77. So that's what they are saying. After all these things, 77 rats died. And what is the total number of rats that were used for the experiment? That is what they are asking. Now when we solve this particular thing, we get 15% of 50% of N plus 25% of 55% of, sorry, the above value is 55%, here also it is 55, 25% of 55% of N is equal to 77. So which means 40% of 55% of N is equal to 77. Now 77 and 55, when we cancel, we get 7 and 5. So 200 by 100 N is equal to 7. So 2N is equal to, 200 by 100 into 100. 2N is equal to 700. So N is equal to 350. So there were initially 350 rats that were used for the experiment. In a maternity center, 5% of all childbirth cases results in twins. What is the approximate percentage of twins out of total children born? So out of 100 cases, let us say 5 were twins. Okay, and which means 95 where 95 cases one child was born, and in 5 cases 2 children were born, which means here we have 10 children. So totally 95 children plus 10 children, which means total out of 105 children, 10 children were twins. So the percentage is 110 by 105 into 100, which will approximately give 9.5%. The least number which when divided by 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 leaves the remainder 1 in each case. The same number is divided by 7, it leaves no remainder. The number is. So LCM of 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. LCM of 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 is 60. So the number must be 1 more than a multiple of 60, then only it will give remainder 1. So here out of these 4 options, only one number is 1 more than a multiple of 60. So that should be the answer. Further, we can check that 301 divided by 7. So the remainder, whether it is equal to 0, and it is true because 301 is 280 plus 21. 280 is a multiple of 7 and 21 is also a multiple of 7. So 301 must be a multiple of 7. In that case, it will leave remainder 0. But when it is divided by 60, it leaves remainder 1. So option A is the right answer. 25 men can complete the job in 30 days. After how many days should the strength of the workforce be increased by 50 men so that the work will be completed in 2/3 of the actual time? So first of all, 2/3 of the actual time, 30 days, is 20 days. So the work has to be completed in 20 days. So 25 men, the 1 day work done by 25 men is 1 by 30, and they have to work for n number of days. That will be the total fraction of work done by those 25 men. Now if there are 75 men, 25 men can complete the work in 30 days. So additional 50, that is 25 plus 50, 75 men can complete the work in how many days? Since number of resources and time taken is inversely proportional, so 25 by 50, 75 is equal to x by 30. So in that case we get x is equal to 10. If 75 men are working, they will complete the work in just 10 days, which means their one day work is 1 by 10. So they were working for 20 minus n number of days, and their one day work is 1 by 10. So all these together gives us one complete work. So n by 30 plus 20 by 10 minus n by 10, which is 2, plus in this case here it's minus 20 by 10 is 2, minus n by 10 can be written as minus 3n by 30 is equal to 1. n by 30 minus 3n by 30 is equal to minus 1, which is minus 2n by 30 is equal to minus 1. So when we solve this particular thing, we get n is equal to minus 30 divided by minus 2, which is 15. So after 15 days, we should have extra 50 men, so that the work will completed in 20 days, which is 2/3 of the actual time that was calculated. Railneer is packaged in a water bottling plant with the help of two machines, M1 and M2. M1 and M2 produce 400 and 600 bottles per minute. One day's production can be processed by M1 operating alone for 9 hours, by M2 operating alone for 6 hours. Now, M1 produces 400 bottles per minute, like that 9 hours, and each hour has 60 minutes. So 60 minutes. So 400 bottles in 9 hours and 60 minutes. So when we calculate this, we get 2,16,000 bottles. And M2 produces 600 bottles per minute for 6 hours, and each hour has 60 minutes. So the total number of bottles processed is same, 2,16,000. Now, M1 was operated for 1/3 of the time, and M2 was operated for 2/3 of the time. So in how many hours total production of the one day can be completed? Now, let us take n is the total time in which the complete production is achieved. In that, n by 3, n into 1 by 3 is n by 3. For 1/3 of this time, M1 is operated. So n by 3 is the number of hours, and it has 60 minutes in each hour and 400, plus 2n by 3 is the time for which M2 is operated, and for each hour we have 60 minutes and 600 bottles were produced in each minute. All of them add together, we get 2,16,000 bottles. Now, by solving this, n by 3 is common, let us take it outside. N by 3 into 60 into 400, or even 3 is also not required, we can cancel the 3 in the initial stage. So n is common, so n into 20 into 400, which is 8,000, plus 2n into 20 into 600 is 1,200, is equal to 2,16,000. So further, by solving, we get 8,000 n plus 2,400 n is equal to 2,16,000. So 3,200 n is equal to 2,16,000. So when we solve this, n will be equal to 2n by 3 into 60 into 600 is 2n into 12 24,000, sorry for that. So 24,000 yen. So totally we have 32,000 yen. So 32,000 yen is equal to 2,16,000. So when you divide it by 2,16,000, when it is divided by 32,000, we get. Sorry for the confusion. What happened is, here the question says M1 alone operates for 1/3 of the time, and M1 M2 both of them operates for 2/3 of the time. So which means M1 operates for n by third of the time, and each hour has 60 minutes, and in each minute 400 bottles are produced, and for 2n by 3 of the time, both M1 and M2 both of them are operated. So in that case we get 60 into 400 plus each 2 by n hour, n third of the time has 60 minutes. So 60 into 400 is the number of bottles produced per minute by machine 1, and 600 is the number of bottles produced by machine 2. Both of them add up to 2,16,000. So what happens here is, this is 8,000 yen. The first part is 8,000 yen, and this part 60 into 400 is 24,000. 60 into 600 is 36,000. When we add that, we get 60,000. 60,000 when you divide it by 3, we get 20,000. 2 yen into 20,000 is 40,000 yen. So both of them add to 2,16,000. So 48,000 yen is equal to 2,16,000. So when we subdivide, we get 4.5 as the answer. So the total time required is 4.5 hours. Two solutions of 90% and 97% purity are mixed, resulting in 21 liters of mixture of 94% purity. Now, this can be solved using simple alligation rule. So 90%, 97%, the result is 94%. When we take the alligation rule, we get 4 and we get 3. So the two solutions are mixed in the ratio 3:4. Total 21 liters is available. So when we divide 21 in the ratio 3:4, we get 9 and 12. So how much quantity of first solution is in the resulting mixture? So the first solution is 9 liters. Option D is the right answer. So there was a leakage in a container of the refined oil. If 11 kg oil is leaked out per day, then it would have lasted for 50 days. If the leakage was 15 kg per day, then it would have lasted for only 45 days. So for how many days would the oil have lasted if there was no leakage and it was completely used for eating purpose? Let us say the quantity used every day for eating purpose is X. So per day there is X liters of oil used for eating purpose, and in first case the oil lasted for 50 days. So the total quantity of oil used for eating is 50x, because X is the per day usage of oil, and the wastage is 11 kg per day. Like that, 50 days it has leaked. So total number of total quantity of wasted oil is 11 into 50. So this is the total quantity of oil. So used plus wastage will become total quantity. Now in the second case, similarly, it is used for 45 days, and total quantity used will be 45x, and wasted quantity is 15 kilograms per day into 45. So this will also give the total quantity. So total quantity is constant in both the cases, which means we can equate these two equations. So 50x plus 550 is equal to 45x plus 675. Now when we subtract, when we solve this, we get 5x is equal to 125, which gives x is equal to 25. So every day 25 liters of oil is used. So from this we can substitute this equation in any one of these equations so that we will get the total quantity of oil. So 50 into 25 plus 550 will give the total quantity of oil. 50 into 25 is 1250 plus 550 will give 1800 liters available oil. And every day we know that 25 liters of oil is used, which means 1800 has to be divided by 25. So this will lead to 72 days usage of oil if there is no leak at all. So 72, option C is the right answer. Every day a fruit seller sells 50% of his stock. 10% of the stock gets spoiled during the night. If the total of 1983 fruits got spoiled in 3 days period, how many fruits did he start with? So let us say he had X number of fruits. So he will sell 50% of X. So the remaining will be X by 2 number of fruits. In that 10% will be spoiled. The quantity of spoiled fruits in first day is 10% of X by 2, and the remaining will be 90% of X by 2. 90% of X by 2 will be the remaining quantity of fruits. So that will be taken for the next day's sales. So 90% of X by 2 is taken for next day's sales. In that half of it will be sold. So half of 90% of X by 2 will be sold, which means remaining will be 10% of X by 4. Sorry, 10% of 90% of X by 4 will be spoiled. So the total quantity of spoiled fruits will be, on the second day, it will be 10% of 90% of X by 4, which is 9% of X by 4. So out of 90% of X by 4, 9% of X by 4 is gone, which means remaining will be 81% of X by 4. So this quantity is taken for the next day's sale. 81% of X by 4 will be the initial number of fruits on third day. He will be selling half of it. Half of 81% of X by 4 will be sold, and the remaining will be half of 81% of X by 4. In that 10% will be 8.1% of X by 8. So the total quantity of fruits that were spoiled, so initially it is 10% of X by 2, which can also be considered as 40% of X by 8. So 10 by 100 into X by 2 is similar to 40x by 100 into 8. And second day it is 9% of X by 4, which is 18% of X by 8. On third day it is 8.1% of X by 8. So when we add all these things, we get 66.1% of X by 8. So this is the total number of spoiled fruits. So 66.1 divided by 800 into X is equal to 1963. So X is equal to 1963 divided by 66.1 into 800. So when we cancel this, we get 300. We get only 30. So 30 into 800 is 24,000 fruits. So X is 24,000, which is the total number of fruits that were there in the initial stage. So we have to mark option C as the answer. The probability that an MBA aspirant will join IIM is 2 by 5 and that he will join XLRI is 1 by 3. Find the probability that he will join either IIM or XLRI. So two cases are there, either this or that will happen. So we just have to add the probabilities. 2 by 5 plus 1 by 3. So 2 by 5 can be written as 6 by 15 and 1 by 3 can be written as 5 by 15. So we are doing this so that we have the common denominator so that we can add easily. So which is 11 by 15, or we can just cross multiply. 2 3s are 6, 5 1s are 5 and whole divided by 5 into 3 15, which will also give 11 by 15. A, B and C are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events associated with a random experiment. Exclusive and exhaustive means there is no common things between A, B and C or any two of these two actions or events. Exhaustive means all these three events complete the particular the whole thing, whatever chances are there, all three things represent the complete number of chances. Now based on this particular statement, exclusive and exhaustive events, we can say P of A plus P of B plus P of C is equal to 1. So whatever event is there, that event, the probability of A occurring or B occurring or C occurring, all these add up together and give the complete event 1. Now P of B is written as 3 by 2 P of A and P of C is written as half of P of B, which can be further reduced as half of 3 by 2 into P of A. Now, so we are supposed to find out P of A. Now P of A, this equation we will write it here, P of A. Instead of P of B, we will write it as 3 by 2 P of A, and instead of P of C, we will write 3 by 4 P of A. All this add to 1. Now let us multiply the whole equation with 4. So 4 times P of A plus 6 times P of A plus 3 times P of A is equal to 4. So here we get 13 times P of A is equal to 4, which means P of A is equal to 4 by 13. So the option A is the correct answer. The letters of the word Lucknow are arranged among themselves. Find the probability of always having now in the word. So to have this particular word now, the three letters should always occur together and also in the same order. So L, U, C, K and N, O, W. So this N, O, W is considered as the fifth element. This is first, second, third, fourth, and this is the fifth element. Now, when we are arranging them, we have to consider all these three letters N, O, W as a single element and we have to arrange. So these five elements can be arranged in 5 factorial ways. Without this condition, we have 7 letters. Those 7 letters can be arranged in 7 factorial ways. So out of 7 factorial arrangements, only 5 factorial arrangements will have N, O, W in that particular order. So the probability is 5 factorial divided by 7 factorial, which is 1 divided by 6 into 7, which is 1 by 42. So option A is the right answer. So here 5 factorial divided by 7 factorial is 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial into 6 into 7. So the denominator represents 7 factorial. 5 factorial and 5 factorial gets cancelled. So that's why we wrote 1 by 6 into 7. A husband and a wife appear in an interview for 2 vacancies for the same post. The probability of husband selection is 1 by 7 and that of wife selection is 1 by 5. What is the probability that one of them will be selected? Now, if the husband gets selected, the wife will not get selected, and if the wife gets selected, the husband will not get selected. So husband, wife. So if husband gets selected, wife gets rejected. If wife gets selected, the husband gets rejected. These are the two cases. So case 1 is husband getting selected. Case 2 is the wife getting selected. Now for case 1, the probability is 1 by 7. Husband getting selected is 1 by 7 and wife getting rejected is 4 by 5. Wife getting selected is 1 by 5, so her chances of getting rejected is 4 by 5. And case 2, husband getting rejected is 1 by 6 and 1 by 7 and wife getting selected is 1 by 5. So these two cases, either one of them occur, so we have to add these two cases. So 1 by 7 into 4 by 5 is 4 by 35. And the chances of husband getting rejected is actually 6 by 7. And in case 2, the probability is 6 by 7 into 1 by 5, that is 6 by 35. Now when we add this, we get 10 by 35, which can be reduced to 2 by 7. Option C is the right answer. A couple has 2 children. Find the probability that both are boys if it is known that one of the children is a boy. Now, both the child could be boys, that is one possibility. One boy and first one is boy, second one is girl. First one is a girl, second one is a boy, and both of them are girls. Now, we know that one of the children is a boy, which means both of them being girl is rejected. And out of the remaining 3 possibilities, we have one possibility where both of them are boys. So the probability is 1 out of 3. Option A is the right answer. A coin is tossed twice. If the coin shows head, it is tossed again. A coin is tossed twice. If the coin shows head, it is tossed again. but if it shows a tail, then a die is tossed. If 8 possible outcomes are equally likely, find the probability that the die shows a number greater than 4 if it is known that the first throw of the coin results in a tail. So if it is resulting in a tail, so the next event will be tossing the dice. So when a dice is tossed, we get result 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Only 2 results are greater than 4. So we have 6 outcomes and we know that 2 of them are greater than 4. So the probability is 1 by 3. Option B is the right answer. The odds in favor of standing first of 3 students, Amit, Vikas and Vivek, appearing at an examination are 1:2, 2:5 and 1:7 respectively. What is the probability that either of them will stand first? Now, the odds are different from probability. Odds 1:2 means it is a ratio between occurrence and non-occurrence. Occurrence is to non-occurrence, which means the probability is 1 by 2 plus 1. So out of 3 events in one event, he will get selected, that kind of thing, 1 out of 3. So for Amit it is 1 by 3. For Vikas it is 2 by 7 because it is 2:5. So 2 by 2 plus 5 is 2:7. And for Vivek it is 1 by 8. Now, what is the probability that either of them will stand first? So we just have to add these three values, 1 by 3 plus 2 by 7 plus 1 by 8. So the LCM of 3, 7 and 8 is 168. So commonly we will take 168, and 168 by 3 is 56, and 2 by 7 into 168, that will be 48, and 1 by 8 into 168 is 21. When we add this, we get 125 divided by 168. So option B is the right answer. A basket contains 10 apples and 20 oranges, out of which 3 apples and 5 oranges are defective. If we choose 2 fruits at random, what is the probability that either both are oranges or both are non-defective? So the number of ways in selecting 2 fruits without any condition is 30C2, which is 30 into 29 divided by 2 into 1, which will give 435. This is the total ways of selecting 2 fruits. Now, the probability of selecting, or the number of ways in which 2 oranges can be selected, is 20C2, which is 20 into 19 divided by 2 into 1, which will give 190. Now, there are 3 defected apples and 5 defected oranges, which means 8 of the fruits are defected, remaining 22 are good enough, non-defective. So number of ways of selecting non-defective fruits is 22C2, which is 22 into 21 divided by 2 into 1. This will give 235. 1. So either we are going to select two oranges or two of the non-defective fruits, which means 190 plus 231. But among these selections, the number of non-defective oranges occurs commonly in both the selections, that has to be reduced from in one of the selection. So number of ways in which we can select two non-defective oranges. So number of ways of selecting 20 oranges, 2 oranges out of 20 oranges is 190. Among that we have 15 non-defective oranges, and also when we select two fruits out of 22 non-defective fruits, there also we have 15 non-defective oranges, so that has to be subtracted once. So number of ways of selecting 15 non-defective oranges is 15C2, which is 15 into 14 divided by 2 into 1. So this will give 105. So that 105 selections is common in both, we are subtracting that. So this will be equal to 316. So the total ways of selecting according to the condition is 316, and the probability will be 316 divided by total ways of selection without any condition, that is 435. Option A is the correct answer. A group of investigators took a fair sample of 1972 children from general population and found that there are 1000 boys and 972 girls. The investigators claim that their research is so accurate that the sex of a newborn child will be predicted based on the ratio of the sample. What is the expectation in terms of probability that a new child born will be a girl? So out of 1972 children, the number of girl children were 972. So when you reduce this by 4, we get 243 divided by 493, and this is the probability. Out of every 493 children, or out of every 1972 children, 972 will be girls. So this is the probability. Option A is the right answer. If A and B be two mutually exclusive events in a sample space such that P of A is 2 by 5 and P of B is 1 by 2, then find P of A inverse intersection A complement intersection B complement. Now we know that P of A complement intersection B complement is equal to P of A union B the whole complement. And for that, let us find out what is P of A union B. P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B, and this is possible only when the two events are mutually exclusive. Now P of A is 2 by 5 and P of B is 1 by 2, which is 4 by 10 plus 5 by 10, which is 9 by 10. Now P of A union B the whole complement is 1 minus P of A union B, which is 1 minus 9 by 10, which is 1 by 10, and this is equal to P of A complement intersection B complement. So option D is the right answer. 6 positive numbers are taken at random and are multiplied together. Then what is the probability that the product ends in an odd digit other than 5. Now, the odd digits are 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. If we include 5 in one of the numbers, definitely the result will end in 5, because 5 multiplied with any odd number will become 5 in the unit digit. Now, odd number into even number also will become even number, so we cannot get odd digits at the end. So we have to multiply only the odd digits. So we have to get 6 numbers, and all these 6 numbers should end in any one of these 4 odd digits. Now, the probability of selecting an odd digit is 4 by 10 if only the digits 1, 3, 7 and 9 are considered, which is 0.4. So, probability of selecting first number as an odd number is 0.4. Second number is also 0.4. Third number is also 0.4. Like that, for each number the probability is 0.4, and the probability of having odd digit at the end is, so we have to multiply each time, which will give 0.4 raised to the power 6. So option D is the correct answer. A husband and a wife appear in an interview for 2 vacancies for the same post. The probability of husband selection is 1 by 7, and for that wife's is 1 by 5. What is the probability that both of them will be selected? Now, both of them are getting selected, so 1 by 7 into 1 by 5, which is 1 by 35. So option C is the right answer. So the same data, but the question is different. What is the probability that none of them will be selected? The chances of husband, the probability of husband being rejected is 6 by 7, and the chances of wife being rejected is 4 by 5. 6 by 7 and 4 by 5. When you multiply this, you get 24 by 35. So this is the probability that both of them will get rejected. Option C is the right answer. A natural number is chosen at random from the 100 natural numbers, first 100 natural numbers. What is the probability that the number chosen is a multiple of 2 or 3 or 5? Now, what we have to understand here is there are certain number of multiples of 2, and among them there are certain numbers which are multiples of 3, there are certain numbers which are multiples of 5, and there are certain numbers which are both multiples of 3 and 5. There are certain numbers which are multiples of 3 but not multiples of 2, but also not multiples of 5. So basically we will get a Venn diagram like this. So this circle, the outer circle represents these are the multiples of 2, there are certain number of multiples of 3, and there are certain number of multiples of 5. And this region says that the numbers are multiples of 3 and 5. This region says that the numbers are multiples of 2 and 5. And this region represents that the numbers are multiples of 2 and 3. And this region represents that the numbers are multiples of 2, 3 and 5. We have to find out these 7 different categories individually, and we have to add them. Now let us see how many numbers are divisible by all 2, 3 and 5. LCM of 2, 3 and 5 is 30. So 30 is a number that is multiple of 2, 3 and 5, then 60, then comes 90. These 3 numbers are multiples of all 3 numbers 2, 3 and 5. So we will segregate them into categories. 2 alone, 3 alone, 5 alone. Numbers that are multiples of 2 alone, 3 alone and 5 alone. Numbers that are multiples of 2 and 5, numbers that are multiples of 2 and 3, numbers that are multiples of 3 and 5. And then we have numbers that are multiples of 2, 3 and 5. So right now we have found out that there are 3 numbers which are multiples of 2, 3 and 5. Now let us find out how many numbers are divisible by 3 and 5. So LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. So the numbers that are divisible by 15 are 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Among that, 60, 90 and 30 are already taken, which means 15, 45 and 75 are remaining. So these 3 numbers are divisible by 3 and 5, and 2, 3 and 5 they are already taken. Now 2 and 3, LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. So multiples of 6, all the multiples of 6 till 96, there are 16 multiples. So we have among that the multiples of 6, 30, 60 and 90 are already taken. None of the other terms are taken. So there are 13 exclusive numbers which are divisible by only 2 and 3. Now when we consider 2 and 5, the LCM is 10. From 1 to 100 there are 10 numbers which are multiples of 10. Among them 30, 60 and 90 they are already taken. So 7 more digits, 7 more numbers are there which satisfy this. Now 2 alone there are 50 numbers. 3 alone there are 33 numbers. 5 alone there are 20 numbers. Now among these 50, 2 alone is 50, 3 alone is 33 and 5 alone is 20. But we are getting a diagram like this, which means P of A union B union C is equal to P of A plus P of B plus P of C minus P of A union B minus P of A intersection B intersection C minus P of A union C minus P of A intersection B intersection C minus P of B union C minus P of A intersection B intersection C minus P of A intersection B intersection C. Sorry, it is plus. Now P of A intersection B intersection C is equal to 3. Why? Because it is multiples of all the 3 numbers, that is 30, 60 and 90, those 3 numbers. Okay. Now P of A union B is we can say the numbers that are divisible by 2 and 3. We have 16. Why it is 16? Because LCM of 2 and 3 is 6, and in 100 we have 16 times 6. So that is the value of P of A union B, or the numbers that are divisible by both 2 and 3. Now P of A union C, that is multiples of both 2 and 5, that will be 10, because in LCM of 2 and 5 is 10, and from 1 to 100 we have 10 multiples of 10. P of B in union C, that is multiples of 3 and 5. LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. In 100 we have 6 values that are multiples of 15. P of A, the numbers that are multiples of 2 is 50. P of B, the numbers that are multiples of 3 is 33. And P of C, the numbers that are multiples of 5, they are 50. So according to the equation that we have written earlier, we say the number of values that are divisible by either 2 or 3 or 5 is 50 plus 33 plus P of C is 20 plus 20 minus 16 minus 3 minus 10 minus 3 minus 6 minus 3 plus 3. So we get 103 minus 13 minus 7 minus 3 plus 3. So 103 minus 13 is 90, 90 minus 7 is 83. Okay, let us redo this question. We must have missed out something. So basically there are 3 regions and they overlap. Now, so let us say this part is one region, this is another region, this is third region, then we have this region, and this region, then we have the region that is common for all. Now these 7 regions has to be added, that will give P of A union B union C. Now P of A, let us say they are the multiples of 2. P of 2 only we will keep. P of 2 is 50, that is known, and P of 3 is 33, and P of 5 is 20. Now the numbers that are divisible by 2 but not by 3 and also not by 5 will be P of 2 minus P of 2 and 3 minus P of 2 and 5 minus P of 2, 3 and 5. So that will give this particular region. Similarly, P of 3 alone, if we want this particular region, we have to subtract P of 3 minus P of 2 and 3 minus P of 5 and 3 minus P of 2, 3 and 5. Similarly, P of 5, that is this region alone, will be P of 5 minus P of 2 and 5 minus P of 5 and 3 minus P of 2, 3 and 5. We know that P of 2, 3 and 5 is 3. Now let us find out the first blue region, this particular region. The numbers that are divisible by 2 and 3 is the LCM is 6, so we have 16 like that. So from this, when we subtract 3, we will get only the blue region, that is 13. So this region is 13, and this region will be 3 and 5, which is only 3 and 5 but not by 2. That will be 6 minus 3, which is 3. And this particular region will be P of 2 and 5, numbers that are divisible by 10 but not divisible by 3. That will be 10 minus 3, which is 7. So the middle region is 3. Let me draw it again. So these are the 3 circles. The middle region is 3. This region 2 and 3 is 13. This region 2 and 5 is 7. This region 3 and 5 is 3. Now we know that the outer circle, the left hand side circle, completely is 50. When we need only the numbers that are divisible by 2, we have to subtract 13, 3 and 7 from 50. 50 minus 13 is 37, 37 minus 3 is 34, 34 minus 7 is 28. So when we add these 4 numbers, we will get 50. 28 plus 27, this is 27. 27 plus 7, 34, 34 plus 3, 37, 37 plus 13, 50. And we know that this is 33, the right hand side circle, that is 33. 33 minus 13 is 20, 20 minus 3 is 17, 17 minus 3 is 14. There are 14 numbers which are divisible by only 3 but not divisible by any other number. Then we have 20 numbers that are divisible by 5. Among these 20, 7, 3 and another 3, they also have some other number, but the remaining numbers do not have any multiples of 2 or 3. So 20 minus 7 is 13, 13 minus 3 is 10, 10 minus 3 is 7. So these are the regions. So to get A union B union C, we just have to add these numbers, which will give 27 plus the first circle completely, it is 50. 50 plus 14 is 64. 64 plus 3 is 67. 67 plus 7 is 74. So there are 74 numbers that are divisible by either 2 or 3 or 5 out of 100 numbers. So the probability is 74 by 100. So that is our answer. Option C is the answer for this question. If A, B and C are 3 mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, find P of A. If P of B is 3 by 2 P of A and P of C is 1 by 2 P of B. This question we have already seen, but I'll again write. So we know that P of A plus P of B plus P of C is 1, since it is mutually exclusive and exhaustive. So P of A plus 3 by 2 P of A plus P of C is half of P of B, which means half of 3 by 2 P of A is equal to 1. So by solving this, we'll get P of A is equal to 4 by 13. So option B is the right answer. 5 persons entered the lift cabin on the ground floor of an 8-floor house. Suppose each of them independently and with equal probability can leave the cabin at any floor, beginning with the first. Find out the probability that all persons leaving at different floors. Now there are 8 floors including the ground floor. That means from first floor we have only 7 floors till the top floor. Now the number of ways of arranging these 5 people in these 7 floors without any condition. The first floor can be arranged in the first person can be arranged in any of the 7 floors. The first person have 7 options. The second person also has 7 options. Third person also has 7 options. Fourth person also has 7 options, and the fifth person also has 7 options. So the number of ways in which they can get down is 7 power 5, which is 16,807. Now, if all of them should be in different floors, let us see in how many ways they can be arranged. So we have to arrange them in 7p5 ways, which is 360. So the probability that all the 5 of them are in different floors is 7p5 divided by 7 power 5, which is equal to 360 divided by 16807. So none of these is the answer that we have to mark. If A and B be two mutually exclusive events in a sample space such that P of A is equal to 2 by 5 and P of B is equal to 1 by 2, find P of A union B. So it is told that they are mutually exclusive, that is, there is no overlapping between these two events. So P of A union B will be 2 by 5 plus 1 by 2, which is 4 by 10 plus 5 by 10, which is 9 by 10. So option C is the correct answer. From each of the 3 boxes containing 3 white and 1 black, 2 white and 2 black, and 1 white and 3 black balls, 1 ball is drawn at random. Then the probability that 2 white and 1 black ball will be drawn is. Now, in the first box we have 3 white and 1 black. In the second box we have 2 white and 2 black balls, and in the third bag we have 1 white and 3 black balls. Now I can select 1 white from here, 1 white from here, and 1 black from here, or 1 white here, 1 black here, 1 white from this one, or 1 black from this case and 1 white from here and 1 white from here. These are the 3 different cases that we have. Let us see what is the probability of occurring the first case. So I can select 1 white ball among 3 white balls and 1 black ball in 3 by 4 ways, and 1 white ball among 2 white and 2 black in 2 by 4 ways, and also 1 white ball among 1 white ball and 3 black balls in 1 by 4 ways. This is case 1. Case 2 is 1 by 4, 1 white ball among 3 by 4, and 2 black balls among 2 black balls. 1 black ball I have to select among 2, so 2 by 4, and 1 white ball, 1 white ball among 1 white ball, that is 1 by 4. So in the previous case it is I have to select 1 black ball, that can be done in 3 by 4 ways, so we have to change that. And the next scenario will be, the next case will be 1 black ball from the first basket, that is 1 by 4. From the second basket 1 white ball from 2 white balls, so 2 by 4. And third case, it is 1 white ball among 4, which is 1 by 4. Now there is a small change, that so all these cases in between we have to multiply. Sorry, I added them because one after the other we are doing, so we have to multiply. So when we reduce this, what happens? 3 into 2 into 3 is 18. 18 by 64 is the first case. 3 into 2 into 1 is 6. 6 by 64 is the second case. 1 into 2 into 1, that is 2 by 64 is the third case. So totally we get 26 by 64, which reduces to 13 by 32, which means option B is the right answer. In a horse race, there were 18 horses numbered 1 to 18. The probability that horse 1 would win is 1 by 6, that 2 would win is 1 by 10, and 3 would win is 1 by 8. Assuming that a tie is impossible, find the chance that one of the three will win. So any one of them wins, that is either A or B or C. So we just add those probabilities. 1 by 6. Here they have directly given the probability, so we can add those values. 1 by 6 plus 1 by 10 plus 1 by 8. The LCM of 6, 10 and 8 is 120. So 120 by 6 is 20. 120 by 10 is 12. And 120 by 8 is 15. So when we add these three values, we get 47. So 47 by 120 is the answer. Option A is the answer.